Von Tobel is your locally owned building material supplier and design center. We have a department for every room in your home. Visit one of our 3 Northwest Indiana showrooms to see your options for kitchen cabinets, countertops, vanities, showers, flooring, decking, and more. Visit vontobels.com for project inspiration and to request a free design consultation. Von Tobel, building better, together.
Quintel Incorporated is a family-owned and operated company located in Northwest Indiana that specializes in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. Since 1994, Quintel has been handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country. Equipped with the most modern technology and advanced tools, Quintel provides top-notch service. When you trust Quintel for all your needs, you'll get peace of mind and a finished job that exceeds your expectations. For more info about Quintel and the services they provide, visit quintel-inc.com.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
How far would you go to relive another Friday night under the lights? Well, lucky for you, you don't need to go that far at all. At Region Sports Network, we have a collection of over thousands of games, ranging from last week to the 1960s. Now, you can relive the thrilling victories, the heartbreaking defeats, and all the things that make Friday Night Lights so great. Talk to us here at RSN and help us remember the region. Please visit Remember the Region with the link on the screen or through our link tree found on our social media platforms. Hashtag Remember the Region.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals, and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Growing up in Northwest Indiana, I am proud that my family's been doing business here for nearly 100 years, which started with my grandfather, John Gladish. Over my career, I've witnessed families being torn apart by the negligence of others, and everything from unguarded openings at construction sites to reckless driving on our roads. Our experienced attorneys, paralegals, and staff know that insurance companies and their lawyers will go to great lengths to avoid paying compensation. Do not waste your one and only opportunity to seek fair compensation for your loss. Give the Gladish Law Group a call and put our team to work for you.
Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844-6570. Hose Connections in Hammond, proven under pressure.
Have you checked out Send to Your Bank's student checking account? This no-fee checking account is perfect for students and teens ages 14 to 24 and comes with all the features you need to succeed, such as a debit card, digital banking, and automatic deposit.
Sentier Bank can help you start establishing good spending habits today for your better tomorrow. For more information, visit Sentier.com/student-checking or visit your local branch. If you are under the age of 18, your parent or guardian must also sign on the Sentier student checking account. At the age of 25, your account will automatically convert to the Sentier checking account. You must deposit $25 to open this account. This account is not eligible for overdraft advantage. Member FDIC.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Game Night in the Region, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, streaming worldwide on the internet at facebook.com/Region Sports, youtube.com/Region Sports, regionsports.com, and ihsatv.org. We come to you tonight from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis for the Class 6A State Championship as Von Tobel presents the Crown Point Bulldogs facing off against the Ben Davis Giants. I'm Jack Thiel, the play-by-play for tonight's game, and joining with the color analysis is Rick Novak. A great one tonight, Rick. Two great teams in the Class 6A for the Crown Point Bulldogs, undefeated on the year, 13-0 for the Ben Davis Giants, 12-1 on the year. Their only loss coming against the IMG Academy all the way in Florida. And we'll start with those Ben Davis Giants. It's a team that is known not just in the state of Indiana, but in the whole nation. They're a top 50 team in the country according to Max Preps. I know a couple of the polls as well who do those rankings have them in the top 50. And this is a team that is as well-rounded as you can ask for. You go on the offense, you have Thomas Gotkowski, the quarterback, Elijah Price, the running back, the number one high school football player in the state of Indiana in the class of 2025, Mark Zachary. And then you go to the defensive side of things. I mean, any name you want to pick out. Mark Zachary, he plays DB. You got Tariq Osiji, Nylan Brown, and Drew Evans. It's a list that goes down and down and down the list. And this is a defense and an offense. I should say overall, this is a team that you love the coach if you're Russ Mann.
I mean, they're stacked, for lack of a better term. I mean, they are one of the most complete football teams in the state of Indiana. They've played a very, very tough schedule. They've beaten all the best teams in the state already to get here, except for Crown Point. So they got one more team. I mean, they've gone through the gauntlet to get here, and they've got one more to beat. And for Ben Davis, it'd be their 10th state title.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they're a storied program down there on the west side of Indianapolis. For Russ Mann in his first year, there's only been a select few coaches that have been able to win the state title in their first year. Craig Bazia actually on the other side got to the state title in his first year, but he unfortunately came up a little short. But Russ Mann a chance to make history with his Ben Davis Giants tonight.
Yeah, in fact, he would just become the sixth coach in tournament history to win a state title as a first-time head coach. Other Ben Davis coaches that led the Giants to the top, we have Dick Doolhan at 8 and Mark Krishner at 2. And for Ben Davis, it has not been easy sledding for this team to get to this point of the season. It really started in that first round of the playoffs and sectionals. They defeated Brownsburg 28-25 in overtime, or I should say regular time, overcoming an 18-point fourth quarter deficit. Then they defeat Indianapolis Cathedral 27-24. And you go to last week, they defeated Center Grove 37-34 in overtime. And those are the number 1, the number 3, the number 4 teams. You're probably asking, where's number 2? That's Ben Davis. I mean, they had to defeat basically the best teams Indiana has to offer in high school football to just get to the state championship.
Well, yeah, I mean, the state of Indiana, we don't have a seeded tournament. I mean, it's the luck of the draw. They played Brownsburg the first round of the playoffs, so that was a state championship level game that first round. And they had to the Ben Davis Giants, they had to overcome a 18-point fourth quarter deficit against a very, very good Brownsburg team. And that just goes to show the resolve of this Ben Davis team and also their ability with their passing game to get back into games, even if they are down 3 scores in the fourth quarter. I mean, they were, like I said, they were down 18 points in the fourth quarter, and they won that football game. They are an explosive offense when they need to be.
Absolutely. We had Michael Hagg at Media Day on Monday evening, and he had the opportunity to talk to Ben Davis head coach Russ Mann. Here's what he had to say about the season and the upcoming matchup against the Crown Point Bulldogs.
Ben Davis is Coach Russ Mann. Russ, congrats on getting here to the state finals and stuff. Talk about the season overall in general.
Well, it's been a fun ride. We started off traveling over to Ohio, taking on national powerhouse Cincinnati Bowler, and going into a bus-off environment, coming out with a win there. And then we've touched a little bit across the nation. We played IMG. We followed that up and had to play our rivals across the city more. But we've had a fun ride. we've got a little winning streak going on now, 9 games, but the playoffs have been enjoyable too. We got over the hurdle of beating Brownsburg in the playoffs and beating Center Grove in the playoffs. And all in all, it had to play a very, very difficult, well-coached team for Cathedral as well. So it's been a fun journey, and hopefully you finish off with some success on Saturday night.
Talk about the Brownsburg game. You guys was down 2 scores, and it was a 3rd and 5 situation, I think. And instead of running the ball, they threw it, and you guys returned it for pick 6. And from there, it's all Ben Davis. How did that pick 6 change the mindset and mentality for you guys?
Well, at that moment, it was too early for Brownsburg to potentially go into an all-run situation. And there were a lot of times where I've even texted with their offensive coordinator and talked a little bit about it. Like, if they would have played prevent type of keep the ball away, we had some success in stopping the run now. Their running back, Sherrill, had an outstanding year, and he did have some big runs against us. He had a 60-yarder, 50-yarder. He had that capability of doing that. But if they would have just gone to a keep-away mindset, there was way too much time on that clock to do that. At some point, our offense had been moving the ball. We just had not punched it in. And since we had just punched it in, you could feel a comeback kind of starting to mount a little bit. If it wasn't going to be fully done, but you felt like we were going to at least get another score or 2 in or an opportunity for another one, the pick 6 helped speed that up a little bit and then change that game into a completely different environment. And there's our linebacker, Tarigo Rashidi, pointed out to us that when we were down 18 to Brownsburg, we went up 3 to seal the deal.
Yep.
And then when Center Grove, we were up on Center Grove, we were up 18. They went up 3. We didn't fold. Like we actually buckled down and had to battle back to tie the game. So the exact same situation. The situations flipped on us, and we tied the game up. So it was credit to our offense being able to come back and get us in field goal range.
Yeah, you guys didn't have no trouble with Pike and stuff like that. But talk about the dogfight you guys had with Cathedral.
Wow, that game was physical. And Danny O'Neill, like that man, he took some hits, he balled out, had a heck of a high school football career. I think he finished with 95 or 96, probably 96 touchdown passes, near 10,000 yards. Won a state championship as a sophomore with numbers that are ridiculous. And he got respect from our team and our coaching staff. The hits that he took, and then the show that he put on, and the throws that he was able to make, and then the physicality of him, kind of set us up for this state championship game where when you see on tape, you can already tell Crown Point's physical, but that, I walked out of that regional game and I was hurt. I didn't even play the game, but I was like, wow, goodness, there was some respect going on that night.
Yeah, talk about how Zane, Mark, Isaiah, and Thomas have been like the go-to guys for these years and stuff like that, and they're like the ones who like say, hey, we might be down, but we're not knocked out. As long as we're still breathing, we got a shot.
Absolutely. I've been on the other side of the city for 9 years and have had the 10 Ben Davis offenses. It's a nightmare, especially when you have the perimeter and the weapons that have had to defend for many years. Luckily, now being on this coaching staff, our offensive staff, offensive coordinator, Caleb Small and Justin Ferris, they do a great job of designing things and put our guys into situations and make some plays for us. So when they get the ball in space or they get the opportunity to touch it, they are a fun group to see if they spread it out so you don't know who's going to do it. Zane was the one that stepped up in semi-state. Elijah has been there all season long, and he's running more and more powerful as the playoffs go on. And not to mention I ask him oftentimes when he comes back to the sideline or huddle, what button did you press on the controller? It's like he makes some moves that are very impressive.
Mm-hmm. Talk about this first time since 2017, Ben Davis has been back for state finals. Talk about the mindset of the kids so far this week. Yeah, it's the biggest game of their lives and stuff like that, but how are you going to keep them under control and stuff like that?
Well, this is what we designed the whole offseason for, so that mindset's already instilled. That mindset started a long time ago. The mindset if you try to find a picture of our guys with the sectional championship trophy, you can't even touch it. If you're looking for a regional championship team picture, there isn't one. And it's in I tried to hand the one trophy off to some of our defensive players after the regional game, and they declined it. So if you look for our pictures of us with those trophies, there's one that they set their minds to. So that'll be the first time, hopefully, on Saturday. But the mindset's already there, and the mission's not done. So they we'll see. There's one more week to prepare. We are playing a very nasty group, very well-coached group. It's really catching a lot of steam here in the playoffs. And we won 24 of the last 25 games, so we know we have the battle. So we see if we can't try to complete that mission, but we have our hands tied or our hands full.
Speaking of Coach Brazia's team, talk about Crown Point and stuff like that. What do you know about them? And considering they had a tough game against Penn and also Westfield, where they had to pull it out in double overtime and stuff like that.
Well, they like I said, they've won 24 of their last 25 games. They started off last season 10-0, and then this season they haven't lost. That's 14 in a row, or 13 in a row. So they're doing a nice job. Obviously, their coaching staff has put them in this position. The Westfield game, you could see the juice and the momentum on the sideline, so you can tell that the players are all in, and that means that you can hear the stands as well. So you know that the environment that we're going to get into on Saturday, they'll have a lot of juice that will be behind them and push the players along.
So how are you going to be able to try to shut down both Noah, the quarterback, and Ellison, who's their leading running back?
The physicality piece, we're going to definitely have to have eye discipline and make sure we don't lose sight on the tight end or their H-back releasing out in some routes. But the physicality piece, making sure that keeps the players clean, that they can make their some tackles, and their running back is very difficult to find behind some of these runners, and does a nice job of running patiently and knowing when to burst. So being sure tacklers, being where we're supposed to be, being physical.
Key for Ben Davis to get their 10th state championship Saturday.
Starting fast. We got to make sure we can apply a little pressure in this game. We understand that it's going to be a physical game for our defense. And even if we get into a lead or if we have to come back, it's going to be, as the game goes on, they're going to try to wear us down on the defensive side and making sure that we are understand defensively the physicality piece is going to come with this game. Even if a lead happens or a comeback has to happen, it's going to get even more violent, even more physical. So making sure we win that battle right there.
Back here for our game night in the region, built by Von Tobel. The Class 6A state championship game almost set to get underway between the Crown Point Bulldogs and the Ben Davis Giants. If you're just joining us, this is an audio-only broadcast, but it is for free, and we want to thank you all for joining us. I'm Jack Thiel. We got Rick Novak besides me, Justin Cole producing today's game, but if you're just joining us, we talked about Ben Davis. You got to listen to that interview with Russ Mann. Great to hear from him and how he's thought about his season. First-year head coach trying to figure some things out. And when you step into a program like Ben Davis, there are a lot of expectations. And a head coach that's been to the state championship a couple of times. And we go to Craig Bazia and these Crown Point Bulldogs. It is the Bulldogs' first trip to state, but this is Craig Bazia's third trip overall as a head coach, one with Portage Indians and the other with the Homewood Flossmoor. But for Crown Point, they are one of, I believe, 6 undefeated teams playing at Lucas Oil Stadium this weekend. The regular season, they pretty much dominated. They had that close game against Valpo, 19-14, but the last 2 weeks has really shown us a new side of this Crown Point team. You go to Penn and you win that game by 1 point, 34-33. You introduce Westfield, a team that, a lot of people maybe thought they would have ended Crown Point season, but the Bulldogs prevailed at the Dog Pound in double overtime. This is a Crown Point team, I think, when we went to the postseason, we asked, are they battle-tested? What's going to happen when there's adversity? How do they respond to it? And for the last 2 weeks, that's all they've been doing is responding to close games. When you get those close situations, how are you going to respond? And they've passed the test. They've got 100 out of 100 on that test, an A+, and it's going to really see them, excited to see them on the field tonight and see how they do for their final test against these Ben Davis Giants.
Well, like you said, if anybody thought they weren't battle-tested coming into the playoffs, they can't say it now, right? Because, they've had 2 of the biggest tests they possibly could have the past 2 weeks with Penn, a 1-point victory. They blocked the field goal with time, almost running out there to win the game. Westfield, they come away with double overtime victory
Yeah.
in a game that they go up 17 points. They take a 17-point lead into the half, and then Westfield comes charging back, ties the game with under 10 group, kind of come back out and execute in overtime, and they've been poised. That's the one thing. They've been in the situations where things could have fallen apart against Penn, against Westfield, but they've kept their composure, and they've righted the ship every single time, and that's a credit to Coach Buzz and his staff. They've had these guys prepared for those big moments, and every time they've had them, they've come up and they've risen to that occasion.
And the defense, obviously the regular season they only allowed 6.6 points per game. It's a school record. The last 2 games, maybe not as many points as they'd like to give up. But the one thing about this defense is when you need them to make the stops the most, they've made them, especially against Penn and especially against Westfield. I mean, you go back to that Penn game, they went out because they blocked an extra point. You go to last week against Westfield, they win on a pass deflection and double overtime in the end zone. The offense has done a great job scoring points. And this defense has the capabilities of making plays, but although they've given up more than 30 the last 2 games, you have to give credit just because they have made those stops when needed.
No, they have. I mean, they've been clutch. Their defense has been clutch. They've bent, but they've never broken. And I think we're going to go to our interview now with Coach Bazia because they're getting started.
Actually,
we're getting ready for the game here.
We mentioned how Michael Hagg was there on Monday for Media Day, and here's what Craig Bazia and starting quarterback Noah Ehrlich had to say.
I'm with Crown Point football coach Craig Bazia. Craig, congratulations again to the first state finals. How does it feel?
It was great. I mean, we're excited to get going and have a great week of practice and compete against a great football team on Saturday.
Talk about your season in general overall and stuff like that. You guys had a pretty decent season, especially with the combination of both Noah and Larry, and then with Noah as your quarterback this year too.
Yeah, I think offensively and defensively, it's about as good as we could ask for. Our defense finished the year with, top defense in the state in regards to scoring production. And, offensively, we've been pretty well rounded. Noah's had a great year. Larry's had a great year. But, probably the biggest thing for us is our offensive line came together. We had to rebuild after losing 4 really good linemen last year. And they've come around and really helped us out, especially in the postseason.
Talk about Noah and Larry's leadership this year and how it's been in plus for you guys.
Yeah, Noah's a quarterback, and we expect leadership out of them, and we've got it. And Larry's a first-year running back, never played running back before this year, and he's really turned a lot of heads. Nobody knew him before this year, but people know him now. And then obviously we have some, leaders on defense with Will Clark being one of them.
You guys jumped out to 17-0 lead against Westfield last week and ran back in the game. What was the momentum and stuff like that as far after the Blues lead? It's like, hey, we're still in good shape. We're going to be able to do this, even though it's a double overtime win for you guys.
Yeah, I think our guys held together, and at that point, there's no sense of putting your head down, and that you got to give credit to Westfield. They came back, made a great run at us, and then we were able to do some things in double overtime. But I was really happy the way our kids kept their composure and competed throughout the game.
All right, you're going to have a tough matchup against Ben Davis, who's a juggernaut and stuff like that. Talk about what you're going to have to do to stop Guchowski, Sabinski, and Zachary on Saturday night.
We got to do what we've done, right? There's no sense of changing. We've never faced a team of this caliber, on offense. So we're going to have to do some things to slow them down and slow the game down a little bit. But they're just a fantastic team. Their talent level is off the charts, and we're just going to have to play Crown Point defense and hope it's good enough.
I know it's an exciting week for you guys like that, but how are you going to keep the pressure down to a minimum that's not at all for you guys to say, hey, we're going for something we never did? You've coached in the state final before and stuff like that. They've never been to the state final. How are you going to keep the mentality and the mindset and say, hey, it's the biggest game of your guys' lives. We got to stay focused and do what we did our season.
Well, I think we're going to keep it as normal as possible. I think it's really important that, we do what we do. Our process is our process. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit different with a little bit traveling. But I'll tell you one thing. We're going to enjoy the moment. These guys deserve it, and we're going to embrace the whole thing, and we're going to have fun with it, and Saturday night be ready to compete.
Crown Point quarterback Noah, congratulations on getting to the state finals. How's it feel?
Thank you. Feels amazing to be part of a team that's doing it for the first time ever, it's surreal. It's amazing with all the family and how close I am with these guys. It means a lot.
Yeah, you had a pretty good season throwing the ball. I think you had over 2,000 yards. I think you had like 600 yards on the ground. But talk about also how the effect with you and Larry running the ball has been successful this year too.
Yeah, running back's quarterback's best friend. So, if he can take the pressure off our offense a little bit, and he does a great job with it. And my best friend, he's a hell of a player, so I love him.
You guys had 2 close games. One came down to a field goal with Penn when they missed, and then the double overtime win where you guys was up 17 early, and then Coach said you guys had to fight to hang on and stuff like that. Talk about how the mindset and stuff like that kept you guys into the game and stuff like that.
Yeah, so, it's really how you enter adversity, and that was the biggest message. Going into these deep runs, we know we're going to face, we're going to hit our backs against the wall at some point, so, it's how we responded, and we got it done, so.
Yeah, you're facing a potential juggernaut in Ben Davis, who's going for their 10th state championship on Saturday. Talk about what you guys got to do to stop them.
We just got to trust our game plan. Our coaches are going to set us up in the best possible position. We just got to execute, so.
And on the flip side, what do you guys got to do to shut them down?
We just trust in our players, trust in our defense to get the job done, and at the end of the day, they tie their shoes the same way we tie our shoes, so it's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, so far it's been a nice day and stuff like that, but when do you think the jitters and nervousness might set in, if it set in at all? And what was your reaction when you guys clinched the semi-state last week?
They complete pass, won us the game. I instantly found Coach Buzz, gave him a big hug. And coming to Lucas Oil, nerves set in. I don't know, man. I just think of it as the same game I've been playing my whole life. So there's much bigger stages than this, but this is pretty cool.
Thanks for your time.
Back here for our game night in the region, built by Von Tobel. The coin toss about to happen between the Crown Point Bulldogs and the Ben Davis Giants. The Friday night forecast is brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Although we are playing in the beautiful Lucas Oil Stadium and there is a roof above our heads, it's although 30 degrees outside, no rain, which is nice as well. But if you are outside or you're going to be outside later tonight, grab your coats and stay warm out there. But that's the game night forecast brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. Well, it's time to name the starting lineups today, sponsored by Gladish Law Group. Gladish Law Group, they're here to help. Actions, not words. We'll start with the Ben Davis offense. From left tackles to be Kenneth Guinhoya, left guard Alex Howard, Deron Sanders, Jeremiah Finch, Anthony Boswell. The receivers are Mark Zachary, Zane Skabinski, Tyler McLean, and Nate Williams. The running back will be Elijah Price, and the quarterback will be Thomas Gatkowski. Now time for the Ben Davis defense. On that line, it's Jalen Harris, Chris Green, Isaiah White, and Nehemiah Dow. Linebackers are Nylan Brown, Drew Evans, and Tariq Oyashigi. You have Mark Zachary and Yassine Falk in the secondaries, and then those safeties, it's Alvin Contreras and Elijah Hearns. And here is now the Crown Point offense. Elias Pavickas, Jeffrey Machidi, Nathan Gregory, Austin Reading, and Paul Clark. And then on the receivers, it's Jacob Jones, Nick Soley, Landon Delich, the tight end Jacob Soley, running back Larry Ellison. The starting quarterback for the Crown Point Bulldogs will be Noah Ehrlich. And here's how the Bulldog defense will look. Nate Kalk, Mark Gonzalez, Seamus Molaski, Trevor Gibbs. You have Griffin Van Tischlet, Will Clark, Drew Correll, Nick Pevlo, Jalen Kelly, Landon Delich, and Dominic Fantin. Those are your starting lineups for tonight's matchup, brought to you by our friends at Gladish Law Group. Gladish Law Group continues to be recognized by U.S. News and World Report as a top law firm. Visit GladishLaw.com for more information. As we are now set for kickoff, it's going to be the Quintel kickoff, as this kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. The Crown Point Bulldogs, they will start tonight with the ball first. You might like this move by the Bulldogs, getting the ball first.
Well, I don't think they had much of a choice because I think Ben Davis deferred. So, I think
but
it was.
Still, you like them to start the game.
I do like getting the ball first. Let's see if they can get some tempo, get some rhythm, make Ben Davis chase them. They don't want to chase Ben Davis. They want to be the team that's, so to speak, the hunted right now in this game.
Absolutely. And there is the kickoff in the end zone. It's going to be fair caught touchback. So The Bulldogs offense, we've talked about them, on the Quintel kickoff show and here in our pregame. Noah Ehrlich, the quarterback, only a junior. He's been huge for this team so far. 32 touchdowns total on the year, averaging about 172 passing yards per game. But Larry Elson's really been the key piece of this offense, the way he's been able to run, but also pass catch out of the backfield. Is a guy who you can't just label him as a runner. It's a guy who can make plays with his hands, and we've seen a heavy dose of him, especially with those direct snaps and that wildcat formation.
No, he's just a football player, and I think we're going to see that same heavy dose of him tonight as Crown Point lines up here for this first snap.
Yeah, 20-yard line. The Bulldogs wearing all white. The Giants wearing all purple. Almost a jump off sides. Actually, they might get him right there. There might have been some neutral zone infraction. That was number 95, Isaiah White. And, yeah, they're going to get him that. So 5-yard penalty to start off the game here. 1st and 5 now. They'll move to the 25-yard line. And for Ben Davis, this is probably a defense that's going to be aggressive all night. That's been true to their nature, especially with all the turnovers they've been able to force.
Yeah, they're an attacking defense. I want to see Crown Point. What do they do to counter that? Maybe some misdirection, some screens. We'll see first play here.
Yep, Noah Ehrlich's going to keep it himself, trying to navigate through some trouble. Throws it. That one's going to be caught for a 4-season first down. That's Trevor Gibbs on the grab about the 32-yard line. We talked about Trevor Gibbs, a guy who just comes out of the backfield, and everybody seems to forget about him, but has a first down catch right there.
I mean, it was a great job by Ehrlich. He had pressure in his face almost immediately. We talked about that Ben Davis pass rush, how efficient they are. Ehrlich, his ability to extend the play is going to be key tonight.
32-yard line. 1st and 10. Ehrlich keeps it himself. Another quick pass. That one's bad away, but there's going to be a flag. It looks like to be a false start on the offense. So we had an early penalty by that Ben Davis defense. Now this one's going to send back Crown Point a couple more yards after that first down pass from Ehrlich to Gibbs.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first couple plays of a state championship game. There's some nerves are to be expected. Both teams have shown them right now. Whoever gets settled in first here will have an advantage.
So 1st and 15 now, 11:20 and counting on the clock, so they'll move at about the 27-yard line of their own side of the field. A little of a heavy package, and there's another flag. Let's see what they get here. It looks like maybe another false start by that Crown Point offense.
Yeah, it looked like the guard who was going to pull there tried to get a little bit of a head start. He knew that he's the speed of this Ben Davis defense.
Yeah.
These guys are probably thinking, man, I'm going to have to get over there super fast. And right there you could just tell that there was a little bit of a pre-flinch there by it looked like number 60 and the center as well.
Gregory.
It was like 60 and 68 there. That's tough.
So do you think it's because of the size and the strength and the speed they haven't seen before is making them maybe a little jumpy at the line?
It can potentially, if you're going against a defense that you know is very physical or very fast as an offensive lineman, it can get in your head, I think, a little bit.
1st and 20, they hand it off to Ellison for the first time, and, man, he has nowhere to go, barely makes it back to the line of scrimmage. With 10:50 and counting, it's going to be 2nd and 20 now. That is bread and butter for Crown Point is the running game. Larry Ellison, he has really carried this offense throughout the past couple of weeks. For Ben Davis, I'm sure going into that film study, Larry Ellison was the first person they watched tape on.
Well, I mean, he's got over 1,700 yards rushing. I mean, over 20 touchdowns. He's been the guy for Crown Point this year. Running the football has been their MO. And just because they don't get it right there, a good gain, they can't get away from it.
Oh, man, a big hit right there on 2nd and 20. Larry Ellison gets laid out. That looked to be number 6 on the defense. Alvin Contreras coming from kind of where the linebackers are and shooting through the defense, and that's a big-time hit. And when you play a team like Ben Davis, you're going to have to take a couple hits like that.
Oh, he came down from that strong safety position. He read that play all the way. 57 for Crown Point. Austin Reading was trying to pull around and block him, but he kind of undercut the block and delivered a huge hit to Ellison.
It's a gain of 1, 3rd and 19 now. Crown Point just hands it off, and Ellison nowhere to go, about a yard on that carry, and the Bulldogs will be forced to punt on their first drive. We said if Crown Point's going to want to have success, they can't have a sluggish start. They had a good start. You had that first down pass from Ehrlich to Gibbs, 2 straight false starts, 3 straight runs where you only get 1 yard, and now Noah Ehrlich's going to be forced to punt with 9 minutes remaining in this first quarter.
Yeah, it's kind of an auspicious start, right? It's not a great one for the Bulldogs. The running game wasn't going. Even the pass that Ehrlich completed, the Ben Davis Giants were in on him almost immediately. He kind of had to scramble around to get that one off even, and the coverage was tight on Gibbs. So not a great start offensively for Crown Point. Now it's going to be up to their defense tonight to keep them in this ball game.
Well, that's a good punt right there by Noah Ehrlich. Rolls all the way to about the 25-yard line on Ben Davis's side of the field. The quarterback going both ways right there, but now let's turn it over to the Ben Davis offense. It's led by the Miami, Ohio commit Thomas Gatkowski, 34 touchdowns on the year, 5 interceptions. He's thrown over 2,400 yards, averaging about 106 per game. And this is as complete as an offense as it gets because there's Elijah Price. There's Mark Zachary, Zane Skibinski, Nate Williams. It's really pick your poison with this Giant offense.
They have balance.
Yeah.
They've got a big offensive line. Pick your poison, that's the least, it's kind of, putting it lightly.
25-yard line, 8:45 to go in this first quarter. Hand off to Elijah Price, makes a couple of man miss, still on his feet at the 30. Now at the 35 is the first down and some more, taken down at the 39-yard line. Elijah Price, the junior running back with over 800 rushing yards, starts the game with a 4-season mechanical first down. He also comes into tonight's game with 4 100-yard performances, and there's the agility and the quickness.
Yeah, 2 jump cuts to his right. Crown Point kind of had him dead to right to start, but he found that hole, and then when he made another guy miss in that hole again, just some great running there for Elijah Price for a big first down.
Yeah. Gain of 14. Thomas Gatkowski now takes it, throws it to his left side. That's number 21, Elijah Price, who we just talked about. Able to get a couple of yards, looks to be taken down at about the 45-yard line. It's a 6-yard pass, so second down and 4, but for this Ben Davis offense, you're seeing a lot of movement. Elijah Price in the backfield on that first play moves all the way near the wideouts on the second play.
Yeah, they're multiple in what they're going to do, and they're going to spread you out and do it in different ways, make this Crown Point defense defend the whole field.
Second and 4, hand off to Price. It's a first down. He crosses the 50-yard line and brought down at about the 46-yard line. So a 4-season mechanical first down for the Giants. Their second one of the drive, both by the legs of Elijah Price, and man, that old line is creating some big holes for that running back.
Yeah, they just ran the old trap there, right, and pulled the guard, kicked out the defensive end, ran right up the gut, and it was a huge hole. And Price, he's 5'6", he's kind of, hides behind the weeds there, so to speak, but he's really powerful, and he delivers a big shot at the end of that run.
Yeah, that was a gain of 8. Gatkowski, quick pass towards his right side. That's going to be caught by Mark Zachary, and it's another 4-season mechanical first down. There he is, the number 1 high school football recruit in the class of 2025, Mark Zachary. 7 touchdowns on the year, 736 receiving yards. He has 2 100-yard performances, 27 Division I offers so far, including Ohio State, Michigan, Georgia, Notre Dame, and USC. So Ben Davis now at the 36-yard line of the Bulldogs. Hand off to Price, able to make some man miss and get a minimal gain on that carry, but still about 4 yards on that. It's going to be second down with under 7 minutes to go.
Going back to the Zachary reception, Crown Point's playing way off of him. They just ran him on a curl route, pressed him vertical, kind of stops, come back to the ball. Gatkowski puts the ball right on him with some zip to it, let Zachary get some yards after the catch, and Ben Davis, they're really moving right now.
Second and 6:25 and counting at the 32-yard line of the Bulldogs. Spread offense. You got 4 receivers out there. Gatkowski takes a look towards his right. He's got some time, scanning the field, now moves to his left, throws it on the run, and it's caught! What a grab! Zane Skibinski going right over those cornerback Jacob Jones, and just like that on the first drive, the Ben Davis Giants are on the board.
That was a great job by Gatkowski. He looks to his right to start. He scans the field, good coverage. He rolls to his left, flips his hip back, makes a great throw, and Skibinski just mosses the defender. It wasn't bad coverage by Jacob Jones, but Skibinski is about 6'3". Jones is 5'8". There's a huge mismatch in size right there, and Skibinski just used all of his 6'3" frame to get that ball.
That extra point is good. 6:11 to go here in the first quarter. The Giants lead 7-0. The 6'3" senior going up for his 7th touchdown of the year. We'll take a 30-second break here on our Game Night in the Region, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Von Tobel is your locally owned building material supplier and design center. We have a department for every room in your home. Visit one of our 3 Northwest Indiana showrooms to see your options for kitchen cabinets, countertops, vanities, showers, flooring, decking, and more. Visit VonTobels.com for project inspiration and to request a free design consultation. Von Tobel, building better, together.
Back here in our game night in the region, built by Von Tobel, the Class 6A state championship game. Just a reminder, Langle's Pizza has been a favorite spot since 1979. Enjoy pizza, sandwiches, and more. You can dine in or carry out as Langle's serves Northwest Indiana from their 3 locations, Highland, Cherryville, and Crown Point. Order online at langlespizza.com. Langle's Pizza, the official pizza of the Region Sports Network. And as well, Maryland and the Pace team invite everyone to take photos with Santa and Mrs. Claus in the lower level of the historic Lake County Courthouse from noon to 4 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays, beginning November 25th through December 17th. Please bring a camera to take your picture. You going to go meet Santa, Rick?
I don't know. I got to ask my girlfriend. She keeps my calendar.
Oh, all right. Well, a big thank you to Strachan Van Til. They've been our hometown scoreboard sponsor throughout the football season. They're our hometown scoreboard for all our sports we cover. You can always follow the hometown scoreboard by Strachan Van Til on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Region Sports, youtube.com/Region Sports, and regionsports.com. Strachan Van Til, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Shop online for delivery or curbside pickup at strachanvantil.com. Although we're just getting started here in the first quarter, we'll be doing the Hose Connection halftime report, getting you caught up on the first half of this Class 6A state championship game. And a big thank you to Centier Bank Studios for being the official studio sponsor of all the Region Sports shows that you can view here on facebook.com/Region Sports and youtube.com/Region Sports. So coming off that Ben Davis touchdown, Zaid Skabinski, it was a 32-yard catch. Now the Crown Point offense, they're going to have to find a way to respond, and in a big way, just because it seemed like Ben Davis was able to move the ball down the field pretty easy.
Yeah, that was the old hot knife through butter, so to speak. I mean, they got anything they wanted. Ben Davis was able to run the ball, throw the ball effectively. They kind of physically imposed themselves right there, and it was a very, very impressive opening drive for the Giants. Now it's up for Crown Point to respond to that. They can't get, frazzled right now.
Absolutely.
Or else it's going to be an avalanche, so to speak. They have to have a good drive here, string together some first downs, get some confidence back, and then go from there.
Well, for the Bulldogs, they have just done such a good job at responding when needed to, and we're going to see how the offense looks. Kickoff, that one's going to be caught. That was number 5 on the grab, Jacob Jones, and he's going to be brought down by multiple Giant defenders, as that was a Quintel kickoff, and that kickoff and all kickoffs are brought to you by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. So 6:05 to go. 1st and 10, obviously, for these Crown Point Bulldogs. They did have a first down conversion in that first quarter on that first drive. It was Noah Ehrlich to Trevor Gibbs, but since then the offense kind of halted a little bit, and the Ben Davis defense took advantage of a couple of penalties, 2 false starts by that offensive line. The ball is going to be on the Crown Point 18-yard line. We saw Noah Ehrlich throw it twice, and we saw 3 runs by Larry Ellison. So here's the first play. Ehrlich goes to his right. He's going to throw it a little screen pass to Ellison, and he's met in the backfield and throw down. That was Jalen Harris on the tackle. So a good job by him to read that screen. We've seen that play work to perfection in a lot of games for the Bulldogs, but he read that one like a book.
I really like the play call because they kind of got what they wanted. Ben Davis was bringing the house. The problem was Harris, he was the peel back guy, and
Absolutely.
Usually on a screenplay you got one lineman to try to block that peel back guy. Crown Point did have a guy out there. Unfortunately, he just couldn't make the block on Harris, and Harris gets him for a 4-yard loss.
Yep, 2nd and 14 now on the Crown Point 14-yard line, 5:20 and counting. Ehrlich is going to keep it himself. He drops back, skating the field, throws it down the field, and it's caught. A nice catch and pass right there. Nick Soley, the 5'10 senior, on the grab. 4 seasons mechanical. First down for the Bulldogs, and that's what you needed right there. Noah Ehrlich dropping back, skating the field. His O-line gave him some time, and drops it into the basket.
Yeah, they utilize the play action, and they get the wide receiver matched up on Contreras, the safety from Ben Davis, who made that big hit. He's a big guy, maybe a little bit more of a run stuffer than a pass defender, so to speak, and I think Crown Point just got a matchup that they liked right there.
That was a 33-yard pass. Crown Point now on their own 47-yard line with under 5 minutes to go, and there's another false start. Jeff Machete is going to be tagged with that one. So the third false start by the Bulldogs here in the first quarter, and that will back them up now 1st and 15 on their own 42-yard line.
Yeah, you definitely can see the nerves here. They haven't made these types of mistakes all year long. 3 false starts here in the first quarter already. They have to settle down here. They're already down a touchdown. You can't have these kind of mental errors, these unforced penalties, unforced yardage, and you got to keep going forward against a very, very good Ben Davis defense.
Ehrlich 3 for 3 in the game so far, 36 passing yards. Playcock lining down 1st and 15, has some time, and he slips and falls down just at about the 40-yard line. He had some time in that pocket. Looked like he was going to step up and make a throw, but just lost his footing. As you see right there, I mean, just couldn't really find his footing, and he had a couple of giants around him and was trying to extend the play.
Yeah, he stepped up in the pocket, did what he needed to do, what he's going to need to do all game long basically here, because that Ben Davis pass rush is so relentless. Unfortunately, you got to check those cleats before you get out there. You know, you're on the turf. Sometimes if you're not wearing the correct cleats, you can be susceptible to slipping and falling.
So 2nd and 17, Ehrlich over the head. That was intended for number 5, Jacob Jones. So quickly, that 33-yard pass, and now it's 3rd and 17 at their own 40-yard line. Kind of what we saw in the last drive, a first down pass by Ehrlich. And after that first down play, they just couldn't get anything going. A couple penalties, and a couple of negative yard plays.
Yeah, I mean, right there they tried to go for a little jailbreak screen to the outside to the receiver. Unfortunately, those don't really work against man coverage, and that's what Ben Davis was in right there, and they were all over it.
3:42, 3rd and 17. Ehrlich's going to roll to his right. He's got some time, scanning the field, throws it down the field. It's going to be caught by Landon Delich at the 50-yard line. It's short. It will be 4th down. I don't know how aggressive you want to get here. If you're the Bulldogs, you are at that 50-yard line, but it's going to be 4th and 6.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, you've got 17 yards to go. It's a nice route by Delich. Runs a little comeback route towards where Ehrlich was rolling out to, towards his right. But unfortunately, you're about 6 yards short. You're at midfield. It's a little risky, but right now, Bazia is leaving.
He does have Ellison.
Yeah,
Ehrlich is the team's punter,
yes.
So you might see a little quick punt right here, but it does not look like a punt formation. You do have Ellison and 2 receivers on the right side of Ehrlich. It is 4th and 6. And that time is winding down. We might get a timeout here from the Bulldogs, probably trying to get the Giants to jump off sides there.
Yeah, I mean, if you get the 5 yards on a offsides, then it's 4th and 1, and maybe you do go for it then. Yeah. You know, you go in maybe your jumbo package and just try to ram it down their throats. But 4th and 6 from your own 50, it's still the first quarter. You got to be a little bit more careful here right now. You got to play a little bit more conservatively, because if you don't get it, you're going to get burned, I think.
Yeah, for Noah Ehrlich, you got to be impressed with how he started the game. Although Crown Point is trailing 4-5 with 47 yards, we know Larry Ellison, he's going to get his yards at some point in this game. But what really could give Crown Point the edge, or I guess the chance they needed, was Noah Ehrlich to be able to throw the football. And he looks very comfortable in that pocket, able to weave his way through some traffic and throw on the run. That's something we've seen throughout the year. Well, with this Ben Davis Giant defense, he's looked very comfortable for this being his first state championship game.
I mean, you know, he's a 3-year starter already. I mean, he started his freshman year at Hobart, started last year, and now he's, starting his junior year. He's going to be a 4-year starter. He's got the poise. And right now, I think, Ben Davis came out in this game really stacking the box. I mean, they were not respecting the pass at all. If if Crown Point can loosen this defense up a bit, hit some downfield passes like they have, make Ben Davis remove some guys from the box, make those safeties not as aggressive coming down in the run fit, then maybe you can start to get Ellison going a little bit better than you could in that first drive.
Yeah, Larry Ellison so far in today's game, 3 rushing attempts for only 2 yards. Crown Point has 49 total yards, but 3 penalties that are accumulating for 15 yards. Or 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions. They have a 4th and 6 coming up. They're actually going to spot the ball on the Ben Davis 49-yard line, so that will maybe help a little bit that you're on the opponent's side of the field. But like we said, 4th and 6, you do want to be aggressive, but you don't want to be too aggressive, because you don't want to give Ben Davis the ball, compared to the 50-yard line in trucks to maybe their own 20-yard line.
No, I mean, even though Ben Davis, their offense looked scary in that first drive, and you're thinking, hey, we probably need to go score for score with these guys maybe, but still, you got to, you can't panic too early.
Yeah.
You got to just play this for field position. Try to pin these guys back, make them go the entire length of the field. And if you get a stop, maybe you flip the field position, you get some good field position, and you can get your offense going finally, get them back off on the side, maybe regroup a little bit, see some things that Ben Davis is doing on defense that you like. So we'll see what happens here.
4th and 6, and there is that quick punt by Noah Ehrlich, a really good one. That's going to bounce at the 10 and up and take a little bit more of a roll towards Crown Point's way. They're going to down that one at about the 7-yard line of Ben Davis. So that's what you want if you're Crown Point. That was probably the best thing that could happen to you on that punt. You're pinning them back deep in their own end zone. If you can kind of get a stop here, flip the side of the field, this could go in Crown Point's way with that great punt by Noah Ehrlich.
Exactly. I mean, Ben Davis is going to be starting for their 7-yard line. They have to go 93 yards to score. So it's a lot harder when you have to sustain a drive like that. So big punt there from Noah Ehrlich. We cannot stress enough. We stress the offense, defense, but we can't stress enough the special teams. I mean, that's that third phase of the game that can really affect a game. And if Crown Point wants to play this game and wants to be in this game, it's going to be close, and special teams is going to be a factor.
3:23 to go on their own 7-yard line. Gakowski hands it off to Price, goes up the middle, makes a couple man miss, and he's going to be brought down. It's a first down, 4-season mechanical first down, 11-yard run for Elijah Price. That's his third first down run of the night so far. He's had himself a great start, 4 carries for 37 yards.
Yeah, he's a little jitterbug there.
Absolutely.
He was dancing in the hole, but he's so low to the ground. He can make those little side-to-side jukes as he's deciding what hole to pick through and get upfield very, very quickly. He's got a great burst.
19-yard line. Gakowski thought about throwing it, but the defense by Crown Point. Oh, what a catch right there by Mark Zachary on the sideline. It looked like the Bulldog defense was going to force Gakowski to throw it away, but he had his junior receiver, Zachary, on that sideline. He tiptoe caught it. 2nd and 4 now with 2:52 to go. A good job by the quarterback there to be patient and wait for someone.
Yeah, they tried to hit another quick little curl route to Zachary, but Delich, the great defensive back from Crown Point, kind of sat on this one. Gakowski did a great job extending the play and letting Zachary get a great catch with a nice high point of the ball.
Now the ball is on the Ben Davis 25-yard line, 2nd and 4, 3 receivers on the left, 1 on the right. Gakowski drops back. He's got some time, steps up into the pocket, now weaving his way towards his left. He's going to take himself for a run and slide safely. It's a 4-season mechanical first down for the quarterback. He is going to be at the 33-yard line, but that's what Gakowski can do. He can throw the ball. He can sling it as one of the best quarterbacks in the state of Indiana, but you have to remember, he is great with his legs. On the year, he's got 91 carries for 341 yards and 6 touchdowns. If he sees a lane which he can take and move with his legs, he's going to take it.
And also, I mean, he keeps his eyes downfield that entire time. He can extend a play, get you in the scramble drill, and that's where they really can hurt you, the Ben Davis Giants.
All right, 1st and 10 on that 33-yard line. A quick pass right there. Number 6, Nate Williams on the catch. A good job by number 41 for the Bulldogs, Nico Pavlo, to make that quick tackle. 2nd and 5 now with just under 2 minutes to go on the 38-yard line. That's the first time we've really called Nate Williams' name today. We've called Zane Skabinski and Mark Zachary. Nate Williams caught the game-winning touchdown against Center Grove last week in overtime. As the time continues to tick, 2nd and 5, 38-yard line. Gakowski's going to keep it himself. A quarterback design run, dives his way for the first down. It looks like he's just short. 3rd and 1 on that 42-yard line. And that's the running by Gakowski right there. Russ Mann trusts his quarterback, whether it's his arm or his legs.
No, Gakowski is a tough football player. He's got a lot of moxie. That was a design run all the way. They pull the guard, have the running back Price lead up through the hole. It was a nice run there by Gakowski. Lowers his shoulder there at the end. Just goes to show how tough this kid is.
Yeah, so now almost under a minute left here in this first quarter. Has flown by. 3rd and 1, potential handoff to Price here. He's had a lot of success in the backfield early here in the game. 3rd and 1, Gakowski. Oh, a little fake right there. That one's to Price. He's going to have a first down. He's got a lane and can't stay on his feet, but it's a Four Seasons mechanical first down. A little bit of trickery. You had Price in motion. Gakowski just flipped it behind him. Now all the way on the Crown Point 44-yard line. It's a 14-yard gain.
Yeah, they ran basically the same action that they just ran with that kind of outside kind of run play, off-tackle play with Gakowski with the running back leading up, except they brought Price behind him during the play, and Gakowski flipped it to him. They got the whole flow from the Crown Point defense, and Price was able to get a nice run going back the other way.
Quickly, Gakowski throws it down the field. One man there, not caught, incomplete, but there's going to be a flag that looks to be pass interference on Landon Delich. The flag was thrown at about the 5-yard line. That's where that pass was intended. I believe that was Mark Zachary, the receiver. Nevertheless, it's going to be a penalty on Landon Delich, it looks.
Yeah, they ran Zachary on a fade route. Gakowski just, they were going for the home run ball there. Zachary got some separation on Delich. Delich had to kind of play catch-up and ran into Zachary, and that's where you get the call there.
Those are just so tough when it's underthrown. It was actually intended for number 10, Michael Cersei, but when that pass is underthrown and you're Landon Delich going full speed, it's so tough to make that adjustment and to avoid the contact that results in a flag.
I mean, he was able to stop himself a little bit. He didn't just smash into Zachary, but he wasn't. He still interfered with him, unfortunately. That's such a hard play for a DB.
That penalty moves Ben Davis to the Crown Point 29-yard line. In high school, only a 15-yard penalty. Empty backfield. Gakowski a lot of time right down the middle of the field. And it's picked off. Number 7 on the grab, Dominic Fanton. It was off the hands of Zane Skabinski, but right place, right time for Dominic Fanton for his 3rd interception of the year. And a huge turnover for the Crown Point Bulldogs.
It's exactly what you want if you're Coach Buzz. Skabinski, it's thrown a little bit behind him, so he has to go back around his body, and when he's doing that, the ball comes up into the air, and Fanton is able to come down with it. That's a huge play for this Crown Point defense. They needed a takeaway. They needed to catch their breath a little bit, and they needed a confidence builder. Now it's up for their offense to be able to convert this into something. They got to get some first downs here, string something together, and realize that they're back in this game. They got to build some confidence.
Now that play, it's going to be at the Crown Point 7-yard line. 16 seconds to go here in the first quarter, so probably one more play by this Bulldog offense, and we might have had the defense jump on this play. There was some motion by Crown Point that looked to be number 95, Isaiah White, who moved at the line. But Crown Point, they had a couple guys motion, and Ben Davis, they were on the jump right away. So now 1st and 5 for the Bulldogs. That ball moved to the 12-yard line of their own side of the field with 16 seconds to go. So for Crown Point, they haven't had trouble moving the ball down the field. I think it's just really been the penalties that have hurt them in that first quarter so far.
Yeah, they can't go backwards against a defense like Ben Davis, and they're shifting again here. They've used this shift a couple times for free yardage.
Yeah. Ehrlich hands it off to Ellison right up the middle to get a couple of yards. Definitely his best run of the night, about a yard away from that first down marker. So it's going to be 2nd and 1. At about the 16-yard line of Crown Point, and that is going to conclude the first quarter here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Ben Davis has the lead, but Crown Point looking to take advantage of a turnover. You're watching Game Night in the Region, built by Von Tobel here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialists.
About to start the second quarter for Game Night in the Region, built by Von Tobel. The Ben Davis Giants lead 7-0. Only one touchdown. It was a 32 6-yard pass from Thomas Gakowski to Zane Skabinski that started the scoring. But the Crown Point Bulldogs, although they're trailing, got some momentum on their side to end that first quarter, forcing an interception. That was Dominic Fanton on that one. And now about 2nd and 1, Larry Ellison just came off his best run of the night. Although it is only 4 yards, it's still good to see them maybe get that run game going, because for the Bulldogs to be successful, the run game has to have some type of juice.
Like we were talking about before the break, they have to string some positive plays here. They've shown that they can move the ball against Ben Davis. They haven't shown that they can consistently move the ball against Ben Davis. They have to be able to string together a drive here, and they're not going to be able to do that unless they run the football.
Yeah.
They have to commit to running the football. Even if it's not being super successful right now, they have to keep going, keep trying to wear down this Ben Davis defensive line and linebacking core to try to finally get some big runs for Ellison.
2nd and 1 on the Crown Point 16-yard line. Stay tuned after the game, as we'll name our Corral Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game, our proud Union home play of the game presented by IKEA ORCC, and our Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar player of the game. A big thank you for Von Tobel for being our game night sponsor throughout this whole football season. And no better way to end this one with the Class 6A state championship game between Ben Davis and Crown Point. A big thank you to everybody tuning in. I'm Jack Thiel, Rick Novak besides me, Justin Cole producing our game. It's been one fun week. You know, we've had the pleasure of seeing all the Crown Point stuff going on throughout the community, and it's been one awesome sight. But 2nd and 1 on that 16-yard line. Ehrlich hands it off to Ellison, maneuvering his way through to the O-line. He got caught right at that first down marker. We'll see if they give him this, and they will. It's going to be a 4-season mechanical first down for the Bulldogs. So that's 3 straight drives where they get a first down. And now the question is, can they build off of that first down?
Yeah, I mean, they're still, that was tough sledding right there. They're trying to just run power, pulling the guard, kicking out with Gibbs, the H-back. But Ben Davis, man, they're really collapsing this. Crown Point, they got to find a way to run this football right now. And I don't know if in between the tackles is the right. I mean, but it's tough because Ben Davis has so much speed.
Ehrlich keeps himself, drops back, but there's some pressure, and he's going to be brought down. He is sacked. There's multiple guys on that play. You had Isaiah White, number 95. The 6'3", 265 junior just got his 8.5 sack on the year. I believe you also had Drew Evans on that play. And Chris Green, so you had multiple Giants there. Now 2nd and 17 with 11 minutes and counting. That will move them back to the Crown Point 10-yard line. And now that's the 3rd straight time where we saw them get that first down and now a negative yard play, whether it was a penalty or just a run or a sack. So 2nd and 17, Ehrlich hands it off to Ellison, bouncing off some defenders, but tackled at the line of scrimmage. Number 52, Chris Green on that one, as well as number 12, Drew Evans. So a long 3rd down. It's 3rd and 17 on that Crown Point 10-yard line, 10:30 and counting left here in the second quarter. And this is where you're in a very difficult spot because you want to run the ball, but on 3rd and 17, you're kind of forced to pass in these situations.
There's no – you can go for maybe a draw or something of that nature, but when you're in this sort of down and distance, you have to tip your hand a bit.
So 3rd and 17, 3 receivers on the outside. Ehrlich's going to keep it himself. A quick pass right there. It's going to be caught at the 15-yard line, now at the 20, and brought down. Number 5, Jacob Jones was on the grab. It's not going to be enough for a first down, so Crown Point will be forced to punt. Able to get some yards and make it a little easier for Noah Ehrlich to punt this ball away as it's 4th and 8 with 10 and under in this second quarter. That ball got all the way to the Crown Point 19-yard line, and here comes the punt team. Noah Ehrlich will punt this one back, and this is a pretty pivotal punt just because you're deep back in your own side of the field, and you don't want to give Ben Davis great starting field position.
Yeah, you got kind of a break with that interception because Ben Davis was driving the football, but now you got to punt it to him, and they're going to get this ball probably pretty close to midfield.
Alvin Contreras, the punt returner, he's got a touchdown already this year, breaking some tackles, but he's going to be brought down at about the 43-yard line on Crown Point's side of the field. So they will have their best starting field position of the day, these Giants, trying to respond after that tough second drive. They were driving down the field and, just a pass behind the receiver, Zane Skabinski, allowed Dominic Fanton to make that interception. And for the Crown Point Bulldogs, they've done a good job in trying to contain Gakowski, but the quarterback's just done a really good job at extending the plays, being patient in the pocket, and waiting for one of his receivers to get open.
Yeah, and Price in the running game has been real nice. They've had great balance. We talked about their balance coming into the game. It's a pick-your-poison type offense. They have 3 very good receivers. They got a good running back, and they got a quarterback that can distribute the ball to anybody.
9:20 on the Crown Point 42-yard line. Elijah Price on that handoff, able to power his way through to the 35-yard line. So second down now. But Elijah Price, every time he gets the ball, he's at least getting 3-4 yards on a carry. He came into tonight's game averaging 6 yards per carry. And that's what you want. I mean, it's a 7-yard gain on that play, and it makes it a very manageable second down and third down if you get to that spot.
No, they're winning first down, the Ben Davis Giants are. We talk about Crown Point. They're going backwards a lot on first down. If you can't go forward on first down, I mean, you're going to have a tough time in the game.
Well, second and third, Elijah Price able to get that first down, tackled at about the 30-yard line. It's a 4-season mechanical first down, so Elijah Price doing it with his legs, converts that play. And now for Ben Davis, they've really done a good job at, you said, winning the first downs. You're getting 5, 6, 7 yards on first downs, and it makes it really easy for your offense to run whatever plays you want to when it's 2nd and 3, 3rd and 3, or possibly maybe a 4th and 1 if you get to that spot.
Exactly. You got your whole playbook at your disposal at that point, and it makes it that much harder for a defense to be able to defend you.
Gakowski drops back. He's got some time. A deep shot towards the end zone. That's Skabinski, and that one is going to be incomplete. A good job right there. That was Jacob Jones on the coverage, able to deflect that one. Almost picked it off, but, man, he stuck with Skabinski the whole way and did not allow a touchdown.
Yeah, this was great coverage by Jones. He did a great job timing his jump. He almost comes down with this as an INT. Yeah. Skabinski, again, has, 5 or
inches,
6 at least inches on him. He's quite a bit taller. You saw him beat Jones on the touchdown for earlier in the game. So Ben Davis, they're, as we see,
I think that's a matchup they're going to target all night.
Exactly, and they're lined up with him again. So Jones is going to have to be up to the task there.
Well, there's a handoff to Price right up the middle, tackled at the 23-yard line. So about 3rd and short now with 8 minutes and counting left on the clock. That's a 6-yard gain for Elijah Price at the 24-yard line of Crown Point. And yeah, that will be interesting. I mean, you do have that 5-inch difference. Zane Skabinski already made that one catch over him in that first quarter, almost made a second one. As here's 3rd and 4, and there's a handoff right up the middle, and he's stuffed. There's the Crown Point defense. That was Cameron Morrison on the carry, the senior. It doesn't matter. You had Drew Carell, you had Will Clark, and Griffin Van Tischlet right there, meeting him at the line of scrimmage, now 4th and 3.
Yeah, that's big for Crown Point. If they can get Ben Davis into situations where they know that they're going to run the football, Crown Point has had a very tough running defense all year long. That's going to be big for Crown Point.
Let's see how aggressive the Giants get here. It is 4th and 3 at that 23-yard line. Spread offense, they hike it. Gakowski, quick pass to Nate Williams, and it's incomplete. Right over his hands, and that's a turnover on downs. The Bulldogs will get the football back. And a great stand by that defense. Having that punt, being in Crown Point territory, you definitely are giving a great offense their best starting field position, but the Bulldog defense didn't back down.
Yeah, you got to think that that's a huge, huge stand there for that defense. Not just, realistically, but mentally. Now they've got an interception. They just got to stop. They are proving to themselves that, hey, we can play with these guys on defense. We can stop their offense, no matter how many good weapons they have.
Absolutely. We're going to take a 30-second break here in our Game Night in the Region, built by Von Tobel. You're watching this on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
How far would you go to relive another Friday night under the lights? Well, lucky for you, you don't need to go that far at all. At Region Sports Network, we have a collection of over thousands of games, ranging from last week to the 1960s. Now, you can relive the thrilling victories, the heartbreaking defeats, and all the things that make Friday Night Lights so great. Talk to us here at RSN and help us remember the region. Please visit Remember the Region with the link on the screen or through our link tree found on our social media platforms. Hashtag Remember the Region.
7:05 to go here in the second quarter. Crown Point has the football on their own 23-yard line. And stay tuned for the Hose Connections halftime report, as we'll go over the first half and get you caught up with some other state final scores that happened at Lucas Oil Stadium this weekend. Also a reminder, Big thank you to Strack and Van Til as for being our hometown scoreboard sponsors. It's your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Shop online for delivery or curbside pickup at strackandvantil.com. Maryland and the Pace team invite everyone to take photos with Santa and Mrs. Claus in the lower level historic Lake County Courthouse from noon to 4 on Saturdays and Sundays, beginning November 25th through December 17th. And Langle's Pizza has been a favorite spot since 1979. Enjoy pizza, sandwiches, and more. Dine in or carry out. Langle serves Northwest Indiana from their 3 locations, Highland, Cherryville, and Crown Point. Order online at langlespizza.com. Langle's Pizza, the official pizza of the Region Sports Network. So a big drive here for the Bulldogs just because you want to get something going here before halftime. You do have 7 minutes to drive down the field, but now that's 2 turnovers forced, 1 interception, 1 turnover on downs by this Bulldog defense.
Yeah, they're proving right now that they're up to stuff. I mean, the first drive for Ben Davis, they went straight down the field, put the ball in the end zone. But Crown Point, they've kind of stiffened up on defense, gotten a pick and a turnover. So their defense has been up to the challenge so far in this first half.
Ellison on the first play, a gain of 2 yards, gets that to the Crown Point 26-yard line. You had Tariq Oyashigi on the tackle. So now under 7 minutes in the second quarter.
Yeah, they got to be able to get something going on offense. These past couple drives, they've gotten absolutely nothing. Right now, Ben Davis, their defense is just swarming this run game. Maybe you do start to open it up a bit, see what Ehrlich can do, and then if you could finally get Ben Davis to, open their defense up a little bit more, maybe then you get going into the running game a little bit.
You got to wonder how much can this defense hold up this Ben Davis offense, and we just had number 9, that was, I believe, Jaquise Rondo, jumped offside, so another time where the Giants defense does. I believe that's the 3rd time tonight where they've jumped offside, so now it's going to be 2nd and 2 with 6:23 to go. But give credit to this Crown Point defense. They have done a terrific job holding this Giant offense. Now you need your offense to complement that hard work the defense is doing right now.
Exactly. You can't win if you don't score points. And I hate to be kind of a smart aleck, but that's just the truth of the matter. They have to be able to move this football here. Also, just to give their defense a rest because they're not going to be able to hold up that long. You're going to get wore out if you're having to play defense that much.
2nd and 2 on the 30-yard line. Ehrlich keeps it himself, and he's going to have enough for the first down. So that'll be a 4-season mechanical first down. And brought down at about, I believe, that's going to be the 33-yard line. Only needed 2 yards on that rush, and he got those 2 yards, and that's what Noah Ehrlich can do. I mean, although he's not going to run it most of the time, but if you need those 3 2 1-yard plays, Noah Ehrlich has every ability to keep it himself and push through the defenders to get that yard.
I really like the call there from Bizia, too. You go with the quarterback power. Now you get the running back block, and you have an extra blocker for the running game. He wasn't really getting much going, just going straight to Ellison. So now he uses Ellison as a blocker and gives Ehrlich finally a little bit of a seam to get a first down.
Under 6 minutes ago, Crown Point on their own 33-yard line, trailing 7-0. 2 timeouts left for the Bulldogs. Ehrlich keeps himself. Quick pass. That's going to be the number 5, Jones. Jones nowhere to go, and he's brought down. Oh, a big hit right there. That is number 8, Nylan Brown, the Kent State commit, and he brought the house with that hit.
Yeah, they go with the jailbreak screen again to Jones. They like this play. The problem is Jones tries to cut it into the teeth of the defense, and this this Ben Davis defense is too good and too fast to try to cut it up into them. They're going to get hit big, and Nylan Brown delivered a big blow right there.
So no yards on that catch by Jones. 5 minutes left, 2nd and 10. Gibbs will shift over to the other side of the own line. Ellison in motion in the backfield. Ehrlich has some time, throws it to the middle field, and it's intercepted. Number 2, Elijah Hearns on the grab, down the sideline, the 10, the 5, and it's a pick 6. Elijah Hearns takes it back to the house. And Ben Davis extends their lead. Hearns grabs his 2nd interception of the year, and he came from out of nowhere and picked that one off.
Yeah, what Crown Point tried to do, they tried to go double. It looks like
no, I believe this might be coming back. It looks like we have a holding call.
I think, is this on the return?
That's the good question. We got to figure out. Here is the official. We'll see what he says right here. It's going to be on the return.
It is on the return.
No pick 6. They're going to take it back. Nevertheless, it is a turnover. Elijah Hearns on that interception, so Ben Davis' offense will have to come out on the field. But Noah Ehrlich, he had some time in the pocket. He was looking for Trevor Gibbs in the middle of the field. And Elijah Hearns, he just came straight from that safety position and jump the pass.
Yeah, they try to go, Crown Point tried to go kind of double swings to the left and right. You saw Ehrlich pump fake both ways, try to hit Gibbs up the seam. The problem was the free safety. Ben Davis was in a coverage where the free safety was right in the middle of the field, and he was reading the play all the way, and he just stepped right in front of it. A great job by him.
So that's going to be a legal block in the back. Ben Davis now on the 26-yard line of Crown Point, and there's Nate Williams right there. Actually, no, that's Mark Zachary making a bunch of men miss, still on his feet, and he's going to be brought down at about, looks like a yard short of that first down marker. It's going to be 2nd and 1 on the Crown Point 17-yard line, but Mark Zachary, a little jet touch pass right there by Gakowski. And Ben Davis able to get, once again, a lot of yards on a first down play.
Yeah, I mean, 21 for Crown Point. Nate Kalk, he had Zachary in his grasp for little to no gain. Zachary was able to shake out, cut all the way back across the field, just showing what an electric player he is.
2nd and 1. Gakowski drops back. A lot of time down the field and incomplete. He was looking for Elijah Price. He had it in the middle of that end zone. Just a little too much on that pass. It's going to be now 3rd and 1 with 4:05 to go on the Crown Point 17-yard line. But the one thing I'm taking notice of is the amount of time Thomas Gakowski's having in that pocket.
Yeah, he's having a real clean pocket right there. They ran Price up the seam from the halfback position, tried to get him matched up with Will Clark, but good coverage there by Clark and the Crown Point defense to get an incompletion.
3rd and 1, Elijah Price. He's short of the first down marker, and there's Nate Kalk. He was not missing the tackle this time. Drops Price just short of the first down marker. It's going to be 4th and about inches. And Ben Davis, I mean, they went for 4th down last drive. It was about 4th and 3. This one being 4th and a very short yard or inches. I have to assume that they're going to go for this one.
Yeah, it looks like they're keeping their guys lined up on the field right now. I mean, they're being aggressive. They're trying to put pedal to the metal, so to speak, right now.
So, and 4th and 1. Gakowski. Man in motion. That's Nate Williams. And they're going to let that die, and it looks like we'll get a timeout here. Don't know. They might kick this field goal just because that does make it a 2-possession game. Their kicker, Ben Rudolph, 58 of 60 on PATs, 12 of 15 on field goals. His longest make of the year is 40 yards. But you do have a quarterback in Gakowski who is a grinder, who can get those yards for you if you need to. So it's really, you want to go up 2 scores, yes, or do you want to be aggressive and try to go up 2 touchdowns?
I mean, I think the thing is, Ben Davis, they've already been aggressive, and they kind of, they came away with no points. I think right now it looks like, right before that, Russman maybe was considering sending that field goal unit out. We'll see what he does after this timeout. I wouldn't be surprised if they do send the field goal unit out, just because Crown Point's defense has shown that they can stop them in the run game in short yardage situations already in this game. I think, Ben Davis, they got to be thinking, hey, our defense is playing really, really well. If we score 10 points, that might be enough to win this game. So.
Absolutely, and you mentioned it. They're able to stop that run, and Nate Kalk on that last play really saved the first down. I mean, he blasted through the old line and met Price in the backfield, and Price has had a lot of success. I mean, going into this play, eight rushing attempts for 69 yards. He's averaging 8.6 yards per carry. So the fact that Crown Point and Nate Kalk were able to stop him just short of that first down marker, maybe that's the stop you need to make them kick a field goal. Maybe they now are starting to respect your defense. And this offense has every opportunity. We've seen them make the plays down the field. It's all putting it together, I think, for these Bulldogs. The defense has done a really good job bending. They haven't really broke other than that one touchdown. But other than that, they could have easily let this game get away from them. They've made great stops on defense the last 2 drives, possibly here on this drive. But the offense is going to find their footing. This is a great offense. Craig Bazia is a great coach, and his offense is too good not to find their footing by the end of the game.
I mean, they're going to make some adjustments on offense. I think that they are going to be able to move the football. Right now, this is a big play in this game, and Ben Davis, they've got their offense on the field, so they're going for it here.
3rd and 1, 4 receivers, 2 each on the side of Gakowski. You got Elijah Price in the backfield on the left side. Gakowski keeps it himself, and that's enough for a first down. It's a 4-season mechanical first down, and that will allow Ben Davis to extend the drive about 4 or 5 yards on that gain. It was a QB keeper. Sometimes, obviously, if you're familiar with the Philadelphia Eagles, you see the brotherly shove and everybody pinned right at that line of scrimmage. Gakowski, they run a very spread offense, and that allows him to find some holes that his offensive line creates. It's a gain of 9, and now actually, it's a gain of 9, and they stand at about, I believe, that's going to be the 13-yard line of the Bulldogs. And now this is where you can kind of maybe waste some time off the clock. Ben Davis will start the ball in the second half. Gatkowski throws it to the end zone. That's Mark Zachary up, and he makes the grab. No, incomplete. He just said he's out of bounds. Jacob Jones was on the coverage. Mark Zachary thought he caught it. Oh, it was a close one down that sideline at the corner of the end zone. You only need 1 foot in. We'll see. They're looking at this one on the video board. He went up. I mean, that's close. The ball is moving with Jacob Jones's hand on it. Mark Zachary's foot, that is close.
Right. It's tough. It's very close. It was an insane catch by Zachary. Yeah. Unfortunately, we're audio only, but he kind of mossed Jacob Jones again with a great one-handed effort. And it's not bad coverage. Jones has had good coverage on all these routes. He's almost had interceptions on all of these. It's just great plays by these Ben Davis receivers.
So 2nd and 10, pass to Elijah Price, and nowhere to go. Tackled at about the 10-yard line. Pick your Bulldog. There were a bunch of them on that one. You had Dominic Fanton, who has an interception in today's game. You had Drew Carell. You had Nico Pavlo. A great play by the defense. So now it's going to be 3rd down for Ben Davis. And you got Jones. He's had a busy night so far. Other than that touchdown, he's done a really good job. That's 2 times he's deflected a pass in the end zone.
With all these Ben Davis receivers, he's had his work cut out with him for whether it be Skabinski, Zachary, and now Ben Davis, 3rd and 7 here, Crown Point. You can potentially get off the field again here without letting up a touchdown.
3rd and 7 on the 10-yard line. Gatkowski, empty backfield. He's got Zachary, and that one's too high for the junior. And look who's on defending him. It's Jacob Jones. So 4th and 7 with 2 minutes to go. They're on the 10-yard line. This is the question. Do you go for the punt? But it was a one-on-one coverage. Zachary, he beat him with the cut, but Gatkowski just overshot his man a little bit too much.
Zachary, who was on that left hash, ran an out pattern to his left. Gatkowski, he was on the right hash, throwing the ball all the way across the field. That is a tough throw, and he just sailed it on him. And you'd rather have that than an underthrow because that's the balls that get picked.
So it's going to be a field goal now for Ben Rudolph. The kick is up, and that kick is through the uprights and good. So Ben Davis will extend their lead now to 2 possessions. It's 10-0. Ben Rudolph makes his 13th field goal of the year. We'll take a 30-second break here on our Game Night in the Region, built by Von Tobel on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
This box is small, like Pet Supplies Plus. This one is large, like a big box store. In each, Stu has carefully hidden a toy. Question is, which dog will find it first? Ta-da! Moose, no! You were so close.
Back here as Ben Davis extends their lead now to their largest lead. It's 10-0 after that field goal by Ben Rudolph. Make sure you stay tuned for the Hose Connections halftime report. We'll go over all the other state final scores as this is the final state game taking place at Lucas Oil Stadium. The Colts need a stadium back. They're playing tomorrow against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so they got to get out of there. But nevertheless, we'll also catch you up on this first half. It's been an exciting one. Both defenses have been playing good, and we've seen a lot of great plays on both ends of the football. But Ben Davis now up by 10. They do get the ball to start the second half for Crown Point. This seems like a big drive, obviously, to get closer in terms of deficit, but have some momentum going into that locker room. Going down 10-0 compared to 10-3 or 10-7 is a huge difference.
Especially, as you mentioned, Ben Davis is going to get the ball to start the second half. If you're Crown Point, you have to be able to move this ball, not just to get points. If you don't move this ball here and you get some incomplete passes, Ben Davis potentially could get this ball back here with some time remaining on the clock and try to score and get the 2-for-1 coming out of the break. So this is a crucial drive for Crown Point. They have to at least be able to get a first down, I think, so that they can run the clock out.
They do have 2 timeouts remaining, the Giants. They had to use one a couple drives ago on that 4th and 1. So for Ben Davis, after that 27-yard field goal, like you mentioned, 1:56 to go here in the second quarter. So he'll still be able to get the ball back with a lot of time to work with those 2 timeouts remaining. So Ben Rudolph will kick this one off for the Crown Point Bulldogs. It's an offense that's really been driving down the field via the passing game. Noah Ehrlich, 6 of 8 with 56 yards. He did throw that interception on the last drive, so he'll try to respond from that. But it's been a plethora of Bulldogs catching the football. You have Jacob Jones, Nick Soley, Landon Delich, Trevor Gibbs, and Larry Ellison. So he's been able to spread the ball throughout the field pretty well tonight. So here is the kickoff, and here is the Quintel kickoff. That says kickoff, and all kickoffs are brought to you by Quintel Incorporated. Handled and caught right there, but nowhere to go. Brought down quickly, just about the 19-yard line. That was number 9, Griffin Van Tischlet on the return. So here comes the Bulldog offense once again, 151 now, as they'll be on the 19-yard line of their own side of the field. What are you looking for on this drive? Because the passing game has worked, although that's how they turned over the ball last time, and the running game, they've had its moments. What are you looking for on this drive?
I talked in the pregame a little bit. Crown Point, I wouldn't be surprised if they had a trick play installed.
Okay.
Maybe this is the time you pull it out. Try to hit it right now. Ben Davis, they're probably going to come out a little bit aggressive on defense, maybe trying to get the ball back here for one last drive. Try to take advantage of that aggression. Maybe you go back to those halfback screens. Try to spread this one out. Use Ben Davis's speed against them.
So here's the first play. Ehrlich hands off to Ellison. Spins around, able to get a couple of yards on that gain. So he swivels his way towards the 23-yard line, and now 1:45 and counting left on the clock. No timeouts called by Ben Davis, in case you're wondering if they might try to work the timeout game and get the ball back. So maybe going to just trust their defense out there and see what Crown Point's going to give them.
Yeah, I think it's a little early to use your timeout if you're Ben Davis. Maybe if there's an incomplete pass here, or if there's a run here, if you stuff them potentially, there are some scenarios, I think, but I think right now you just let your defense play.
2nd and 6, another handoff to Ellison. He's got a hole. He's got a man to beat. And Mark Zachary comes from behind and makes the tackle. But Larry Ellison, a huge run for the running back, tackled at about the 45-yard line of Ben Davis. It's a 34-yard gain, and just what the Bulldogs needed.
Yeah, it's the same power play they've been running all game long, but finally they crack it for a big gain, and they needed that.
And there's a handoff to Ellison once more, and gets tripped. Might have tripped on one of the old linemen at that line of scrimmage. It's going to be 2nd and 10. Actually, they're going to mark it at the Ben Davis 43-yard line at the conclusion of the Ellison run. But even if you don't score a touchdown here, they've finally got that running game going a little bit. You found the hole that you've been looking for all game, because Ellison, other than that run, has not really gotten going.
No, he hasn't, and I'm surprised Crown Point hasn't taken a timeout here. There's 35 seconds counting down. They had to, but they're in an empty set.
Yeah, empty set. You got 3 receivers on the right, 1 on the left, and it looks like we got a timeout by Ben Davis. Okay. So Russ Mann comes out on the field, calls a timeout. What was interesting is you had number 57 out there as a receiver for Crown Point, who usually isn't in the game. That's like we said, number 57. That's Austin Reading. He's a sophomore, 5'10", 220 lineman. He was lined outside like a receiver. Might have been a little jailbreak screen like we've seen over the past couple of drives for Crown Point.
I definitely think Crown Point was in a sort of tricky formation. That's part of the reason Ben Davis did call that timeout right there. Crown Point, they had, like you said, Redding was out there as a receiver. They had another receiver on the line of scrimmage outside of him who was an eligible receiver. Then they had 2 guys basically in the slots on the other side who were both eligible. And then they had a guy, the tight end, basically replacing Redding on the line. So they had an interesting formation, and I think Russ Mann and Ben Davis coaching staff, they kind of saw that and kind of got the timeout pretty quick, because it looked like right there Crown Point might be, gearing up to do something a little bit unorthodox.
Well, it seemed like for Ben Davis, they weren't going to use their timeouts to try to get the ball back. I think they just conceded and said, we trust our defense to make some stops. We'll go into halftime with whatever lead they have. For Crown Point, now they have an opportunity. They do have 2 timeouts, so they didn't take that timeout. So that you thought they might have would have taken after
about
that
10
run.
seconds burned off.
Yeah, so about 10 seconds. They do have 24 seconds on the Ben Davis 43-yard line. Their kicker is Oliver Brewer, who's only made and kicked 1 field goal. He's a freshman on the year. So if you're Craig Bazia, I think that's the big question going down this drive. And maybe the conversation you're having with your offensive coordinator, how much do we trust our kicker? What plays do we need to implement to make sure we have enough trust in our kicker? Or is this a position where no matter how much time is left, maybe a couple seconds, we got to find the end zone with 24 seconds and 2 timeouts?
I mean, it's going to be tough. I mean, they're, at about the 40-yard line. And, they've got 2 timeouts. They're going to be able to get, maybe some quick hitters to the outside to try to maybe make the field goal a little bit shorter. Maybe if you get to about the 25, you can try to get a shot to the end zone. But you're looking probably at 4 plays maximum here. And if you get a sack, that really hurts you. So I'm not sure if trying to go deep into the end zone is the right thing, but we'll see what Coach Buzz dials up here.
43-yard line, 24 seconds to go. Ehrlich keeps himself, drops back. He's got some time, throws it down the middle of the field, and it's over the hands of Jacob Jones, almost picked off by Yassine Falk. An incomplete pass. It's going to be 3rd and 10 now with 18 seconds. Jacob Jones thought maybe there was a little bit of pass interference or some holding on that play, but that would have been a huge gain if they were able to convert it.
Yeah, they went with a little switch release from their receivers. The outside receiver went inside. Jones went outside and then broke back over the inside. The problem was Yassine, number 13. He's a big DB, much bigger than Jones. He just had blanket coverage there. And Ehrlich, he put the ball a little bit in front of Jones because the coverage was so tight, but unfortunately it was a little bit too in front of him, and Jones didn't have a play on the ball.
I think Jones was trying to make the case that Falk might have pushed up on him on that back. He might have used him as a jumping pad. And that could have been the penalty because Yassine comes in at 6'1", Jones at about 5'8", so you could easily try to push off him and try to gain some air. And here's a Crown Point timeout with 16 seconds to go. A little interesting one just because now you only have one timeout left. 16 seconds ago. It's 3rd and 10. You have 43 yards to drive down the field if you want to score a touchdown. Like we said, they do have Oliver Brewer, a kicker, who has made a field goal. He is 43 or 45 on PATs, although I don't know if they'll get it to the PAT length. What are you dialing up here if you're Craig Bazia? Because they did take a shot down the field right there, and it was a one-on-one coverage, probably what they wanted on that play. Or are you looking for here? Is Landon Delich a guy you got to be calling because he is 6'4" and 200 pounds?
Yeah, I was thinking try up the seam again. Their biggest pass play in this game was running sorely up the seam. So maybe trying to do something like that again. But I do think right now you're probably playing for a field goal. Just try to you probably go over, you ask the kicker, hey, what do you think is your realistic range for you to make this kick? And you dial up your best play, your best pass play to get him in that range. Because you got 16 seconds, one timeout. You probably have, it'd be risky to try to get two pass plays in here, I think, to be honest. So I think right now you got to just try to get one play here to get in range.
43-yard line, 16 seconds to go, 3rd and 10. Two receivers on the left of Ehrlich. And Ehrlich's going to keep it himself, drops back. He's got some time, throws it down the field in the middle, and it's caught. That's number 8 down at the 5-yard line, Jacob Soley. And it's going to call a timeout right here for the Bulldogs, 9 seconds to go. And, wow, what a huge play.
I don't think they're using the timeout. They're going to spike it, but there's 5 seconds. They need to
4 seconds, 3 seconds, no timeout called. Man in motion, 1 second to go. I think they might have just called a timeout with a second to go. I am not sure. I look like they called a timeout right when the play concluded, but now everybody on the offense was hustling down towards the 4-yard line, and now the officials are getting together. Maybe they did try to call a timeout right after the catch because why wouldn't you? You'd have so much time at the 4-yard line. They are going to get a timeout. I'm curious to know when are they going to give him that timeout. Is it going to be with the time they had when that play was completed, or is it going to be with it looked like on the clock 1 second was left?
Yeah, it's just that's too risky to try to run up there and spike that ball. You got linemen running 30, 40 yards right there. It's just you. In my opinion, you need to spend this. They ran the exact play I told them, or not. Well, I'm not going to say I'm that smart, but I did say run solely up the seam, and they ran that exact play, taking advantage of that split safety coverage, and that was against Zachary, the number 1 player in the state in his class. So it was a great route, a great throw by Ehrlich. But
39-yard pass.
39-yard pass. That's the problem. You got, you see we're looking at the replay now.
So they're going to give them 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It looks to be on the clock. It's going to be 1st and 4. So this is a tough one because, you can run a play and still have time left with 5 seconds. I guess you got to figure out what are you going to dial up here. Running the ball, you cannot run the ball. You have to throw the ball in this position or it's a touchdown or the time runs out. You're going to have to look for a quick pass. We have seen Trevor Gibbs and Seamus Molaski be very clutch in these positions just because Trevor Gibbs, he had 2 touchdowns against Westfield last week. Seamus Molaski, he had a touchdown last week. So 5 seconds on the clock, 1st and 4 at that 4-yard line. Noah Ehrlich's going to go out there. It looks like you've got a kind of a jumbo package there, a lot of big bodies. Landon Delich is one of the receivers. Ellison as well. Nick Soley, the other one. And hikes the ball, but I think we might have, we're going to have a timeout right here by Ben Davis. So the Giants, they will use their final timeout of the first half with 4 seconds to go. And this feels just like a huge play. For Crown Point, you can get 3 or 7 here, and you have a lot of momentum going into halftime. It seems like Ben Davis could be up by a lot more with the way the game's gone, but for Crown Point to go into halftime only down by 1 possession, they got to feel pretty good about themselves.
No, I think they do, and right now I'm taking the points personally. I mean, I think it's a tough call.
So you wouldn't try a pass play right here? You just kick the field goal right away?
I mean, there's 4 seconds on the clock. I think there's only 1 play left here. I don't think that if you don't – I don't know what pass you can have that's – or excuse me, 5 seconds. Still, I don't know what play you have in your playbook that's going to take less than 5 seconds in the pass play, to be completely honest with you. It's very risky. You do this, it's a 1-score game, and if you get a stop on them coming out of the second half, then it's a whole new ball game. To me, I'd kick the points. But, Coach Buzz, he's down there for a reason. He's been in this situation, and I'm sure whatever he's doing here is – and they're sending the offense out.
Offense comes back out, 5 seconds to go, only need 4 yards. I mean, they can still run a quick pass play.
No, it's actually the field goal.
They're going to kick the field goal. So Ehrlich will hold it. Oliver Brewer, a freshman, will kick it. A small attempt, or I should say not too long of a field goal. There's the snap, there's the kick, and that one's good. Looks like there'll probably be a couple seconds left on the clock for a kick return, but nevertheless, the Crown Point Bulldogs, they're on the board for the first time. Big-time field goal right there by Oliver Brewer, and what a big-time drive by Noah Ehrlich. We said if Crown Point wants to win this game, he's going to have to make some plays with his arm, and that pass to Nick Soley, it doesn't get more clutch than that play.
No, I mean, he's had the moxie tonight. I mean, Ehrlich, he had that interception, but still he's coming out there every play, and he's trying to get his team – willing his team to win. It was a great throw up the seam there. You get 3 points, you make it a 1-possession game. I think that was the right decision to do. Right now, you just try to do some sort of squib kick, get this ball. You don't give them any chance to return it. Go to half, make your adjustments, come back out. Like I said, if you get 1 stop on them coming out of that half, it's a whole new ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. In this Crown Point offense, you wanted some type of response. It didn't have to be a touchdown. It didn't have to be a big 90-yard touchdown play. You just wanted some points. Kind of give the defense a little bit of relief knowing that they have your back. And like I said, only down by 7. We'll see pending this kickoff how it goes. For them to be only down by 7 at the moment, going into halftime, even though you're losing, you feel you're pretty much still in the game. And I will say, even though, Crown Point has been pinned as the underdogs by a lot of people going in tonight, the old saying goes, you keep an underdog in the game for too long, they're going to be the ones winning the game.
I mean, if you're Coach Buzz, you got to, as kind of poor as this half is gone at certain points, you got to feel good about going into half down 1 touchdown. I mean, your defense has risen to the occasion. I mean, holding these guys to 10 points in that half is impressive. You had multiple stops. You had a pick. So they've been able to rise to the occasion. They just got to be able to, consistently put together things on offense, and that'll be the test of the game.
Well, yeah, there's a squib kick. It's the Quintel kickoff, and that was Cameron Morrison, the one who was returning it, really nowhere to go on that one, was able to get it all the way about to the Crown Point 40-yard line. But that will conclude the first half from Lucas Oil Stadium. It's been a good one so far as the Ben Davis Giants lead the Crown Point Bulldogs 10-3. We're going to take a break here in our Game Night in the Region built by Von Tobel, but stay tuned in just a little bit. We'll be doing a Hose Connections halftime report, but you're watching us on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals, and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Growing up in Northwest Indiana, I am proud that my family's been doing business here for nearly 100 years, which started with my grandfather, John Gladish. Over my career, I've witnessed families being torn apart by the negligence of others, everything from unguarded openings at construction sites to reckless driving on our roads. Our experienced attorneys, paralegals, and staff know that insurance companies and their lawyers will go to great lengths to avoid paying compensation. Do not waste your one and only opportunity to seek fair compensation for your loss. Give the Gladish Law Group a call and put our team to work for you.
Have you checked out Centier Bank's student checking account? This no-fee checking account is perfect for students and teens ages 14 to 24 and comes with all the features you need to succeed, such as a debit card, digital banking, and automatic deposit. Centier Bank can help you start establishing good spending habits today for your better tomorrow. For more information, visit centier.com/student-checking or visit your local branch. If you are under the age of 18, your parent or guardian must also sign on the Centier student checking account. At the age of 25, your account will automatically convert to the Centier checking account. You must deposit $25 to open this account. This account is not eligible for overdraft advantage. Member FDIC.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craft Workers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
For over 100 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony. From a simple to elaborate, to traditional or unique, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. And for your other loved ones, Burns Funeral now has a pet cemetery and crematory. Visit burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 219-942-1117.
Better Beef of Indiana. Hormone-free, locally raised, and locally processed beef. Better Beef of Indiana is located in Valpo at 2600 Beach Street, where you could buy individual cuts of beef completely raised in Hebron. From single pounds of ground beef to filet mignon, Better Beef of Indiana has it all. Visit their website at betterbeefindiana.com. Follow them on Facebook or call the owner, Kevin, directly at 219-508-5797. Better Beef of Indiana, where quality meets value.
Hi, this is Tim down at Tire Pros and Auto Superstore, 5200 Cleveland in Maryville. 219-887-3333 is our phone number. We've been serving the region and building relationships with our valued customers for the past 23 years. We have a wide variety of services, quality tires with the best warranty in the nation, and some of the most skilled mechanics I've ever worked with. Let us exceed your expectations. We're setting a new standard. Come on down, ask for Mike or Tim. We'll take excellent care of you. Thank you.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Centrally located in downtown Indianapolis, the Hampton Inn is just steps away from Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Situated at 105 South Meridian Street, shopping, restaurants, entertainment, and many Indianapolis attractions are in near proximity. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a gym fitness center. For reservations, the number is 317-261-1200. The website is hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
How far would you go to relive another Friday night under the lights? Well, lucky for you, you don't need to go that far at all. At Region Sports Network, we have a collection of over thousands of games, ranging from last week to the 1960s. Now, you can relive the thrilling victories, the heartbreaking defeats, and all the things that make Friday Night Lights so great. Talk to us here at RSN and help us remember the region. Please visit Remember the Region with the link on the screen or through our link tree found on our social media platforms. Hashtag Remember the Region.
Von Tobel is your locally owned building material supplier and design center. We have a department for every room in your home. Visit one of our 3 Northwest Indiana showrooms to see your options for kitchen cabinets, countertops, vanities, showers, flooring, decking, and more. Visit vontobels.com for project inspiration and to request a free design consultation. Von Tobel, building better, together.
Quintel Incorporated is a family-owned and operated company located in Northwest Indiana that specializes in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. Since 1994, Quintel has been handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country. Equipped with the most modern technology and advanced tools, Quintel provides top-notch service. When you trust Quintel for all your needs, you'll get peace of mind and a finished job that exceeds your expectations. For more info about Quintel and the services they provide, visit quintel-inc.com.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844-6570. Hose Connections in Hammond, proven under pressure.
Back here for game night in the region, built by Von Tobel. It's halftime at Lucas Oil Stadium, which means it's time for the Hose Connections halftime report presented by Hose Connection, proven under pressure. The Ben Davis Giants, they lead 10-3. They had a touchdown on their first drive, but since then the Bulldog defense has been standing tall. They were able to get a field goal by Oliver Brewer, the freshman, to close out that first half, and that's where we stand through 2 quarters of 6A state championship football. Thank you for tuning in. Jack Thiel alongside me is Rick Novak. We got Justin Cole producing today's broadcast. A big thank you to everybody for tuning in. We see a lot of people are listening to today's action, and we love the support. We know how much people are behind the Crown Point Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs, look, although maybe the stats don't show it, that's a 7-point game, they have done a really good job keeping themselves in this game for one half.
Yeah, their defense has, they've been hanging on by a thread at some points, but they've stood tall every time they needed to, and they've kept this Crown Point team in the game. 10-3 at halftime. Like I said, when we were going into the break, they get a stop coming out here because Ben Davis is going to get the ball. If Crown Point get a stop on defense, that makes this a whole new ball game. I think the key to the game right now for Crown Point is do not let Ben Davis go up 2 touchdowns. As long as Crown Point can keep this game within 1 score, they're going to have a chance to win because they're going to have their running game then. They're going to have their full complement on offense. As long as they can keep this game close to the end, they're going to have a shot to pull out, what would be one of the biggest upsets in the history of Indiana football, I think.
Their defense has really stood tall because they had that touchdown on the first drive of Zane Skabinski, but since then a turnover on downs, an interception by Dominic Fanton, and then a field goal by their kicker Rudolph. So this Crown Point defense, ever since they got burned by that touchdown early 7-0, they've done a good job keeping us at a less than 10 or less than 10-point game. And for the Crown Point offense, they found something on that last drive. You had the huge run by Larry Ellison, about 33 yards on the carry, and then you had Noah Ehrlich. He's done a really good job throwing the football tonight. He found his tight end, Jacob Soley, on a pass that got him all the way to the 4-yard line that set up that late field goal for the Bulldogs. But Noah Ehrlich has been huge for this team. He is so poised. He's got so much patience, and like we keep saying, although he's only a junior quarterback, he's got 3 years, including this year, under his belt. But he looks very comfortable out there throwing in what is obviously a more Ben Davis crowd out there, and in an NFL stadium. He looks like he's been doing this the whole year.
No, he's been, he's really lived up to billing, and all year long. I mean, he's the best quarterback in the region. I think that's not, unfair to say. And he's playing very well. He's shown the state a very good showing of region football here today. He's got pressure in his grill all game long so far. This Ben Davis pass rush has been tenacious, but he's just been able to, kind of pick his way through it, step up in the pocket, make the throws he's needed to. He's not taking a sack. He's been able to, he did throw that interception, but he shook it off, made big throws. He's been able to kind of manage the game and do what he's needed to do. And in the second half, they're going to need to lean on him even more.
So give me your keys for the second half. We'll start with the Crown Point Bulldogs, down by 7. What are your keys for them to get their first state championship?
I think on defense, they got to keep doing what they're doing in terms of make Ben Davis run to beat you. I think that's a big, big thing. We've seen Crown Point, even though they've bent a little bit, both those drives that Ben Davis – those 3 drives they didn't score touchdowns where they came in with a field goal, turnover on down, and an interception. They were moving the ball still. So the Crown Point defense, they've bent, but they haven't broke. They've been able to get the stops when they needed to, and I think a big part of that is they're respecting the pass. They're respecting those athletes that Ben Davis has on the outside. They're forcing Elijah Price, who's a very dynamic player himself, but I think if you got to pick your poison on this, you got to kind of go with him, I think, or at least – it's so to speak, it's a death by 1,000 paper cuts or death by one big one, because those receivers, they're such big play threats. They've limited them so far. Ben Davis, they only have 63 yards passing in that first half. Crown Point has outgained them.
And half of those passing yards came on that touchdown
Exactly.
pass.
So Crown Point, their defensive game plan has been very sound so far. I would stay with that. On offense, keep going to those things that we just saw on that last drive that opened it up. it's the same, those plays, that power run by Ellison, it's the same play they have been running, but I think they changed up the blocking scheme a little bit. They got Ben Davis into a better front for them to be able to get better angles for their blocking. They finally sprung a big one. Do some stuff like that. And then Ben Davis is running this kind of split safety coverage, 2 guys back. Hit that up the seam, right in between those safeties like they've been doing with Soli. Keep going back to that. Force Ben Davis then to spin the safeties, put one in the middle of the field and bump the other one down. Then you can start getting different things going when you got different coverages like that.
What about for the Ben Davis Giants, just because they're not satisfied with that first half? You heard Russ Mann at the halftime interview down on the field, talked about how, look, they're limiting those big-time plays we can make in the passing game. They're playing back, but they are allowing us to run the football, and if we have to run the football the whole game, we will do that. I mean, Elijah Price has been huge for the Giants so far tonight, but this offense really hasn't found its footing since that touchdown drive on their first drive of the game. What are your keys for them to get kind of, find that offense, but also keep that great defense going?
Don't get impatient. I think we heard Coach Mann, he's looking for that 2-scorer lead. And I think on this first drive, I won't be surprised if Ben Davis went for the jugular, so to speak, and tried to go for a deep shot. But I think if Crown Point has given you the run game, keep going with the run game. Eventually, then, you're going to be able to get the play-action passing game off, which is the best type of passes you can get anyway. And once you have that run game established with, it becomes so deadly, and eventually you hit one of those at an opportune time. I think you really can, so to speak, it's the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. I think you really can go for that game shot against the Crown Point Bulldogs.
Although it is a 7-point lead for the Giants, it's been a pretty even game. The Giants have 158 total yards, while the Bulldogs have 138 total yards. You mentioned it, only 63 passing yards for the Giants, while the Bulldogs have 95 passing yards. But the Giants, they do have 95 rushing yards compared to Crown Point's 43. Both teams with 4 penalties in the game so far, but Giants, they do have 10 first downs, while the Bulldogs only have 6. Other than that, 26 total plays for the Giants, 23 for the Bulldogs. Both are averaging about 6 yards per play, which is pretty even, but for the Giants, they're averaging 10 yards per completion, while the Bulldogs are averaging 14 yards per completion. So both teams have been able to find those big plays in terms of the passing game. The Giants, time of possession, 10 minutes and 45 seconds. For the Bulldogs, 13 minutes and 13 seconds. Both teams have a turnover, both interceptions. It was Dominic Fanton for the Crown Point Bulldogs, and for the Ben Davis Giants, it was Elijah Hearns. And that's where we stand so far with 1 half played here for the Class 6A state championship at Lucas Oil Stadium. Well, that's going to do it here for the Hose Connection halftime report, brought to you by Hose Connections on Kennedy Avenue in Hammond. Visit them on the web at hoseconnectionsinc.com. Hose Connections, proven under pressure. When we come back, it'll be start for the second half for a game night in the region built by Von Tobel. You're listening on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844-6570. Hose Connections in Hammond, proven under pressure.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
How far would you go to relive another Friday night under the lights? Well, lucky for you, you don't need to go that far at all. At Region Sports Network, we have a collection of over thousands of games, ranging from last week to the 1960s. Now, you can relive the thrilling victories, the heartbreaking defeats, and all the things that make Friday Night Lights so great. Talk to us here at RSN and help us remember the region. Please visit Remember the Region with the link on the screen or through our link tree found on our social media platforms. Hashtag Remember the Region.
Quintel Incorporated is a family-owned and operated company located in Northwest Indiana that specializes in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. Since 1994, Quintel has been handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country. Equipped with the most modern technology and advanced tools, Quintel provides top-notch service. When you trust Quintel for all your needs, you'll get peace of mind and a finished job that exceeds your expectations. For more info about Quintel and the services they provide, visit quintel-inc.com.
Start of the second half now. There's the kickoff. It's going to be returned. That's Contreras, Selvin Contreras on the return, and met by plenty of Bulldogs. There's a flag on the play, but brought down about the 22-yard line. That is a Quintel kickoff, and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated. Quintel Incorporated, specializing of all the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers, handling all jobs of all sizes throughout the country. It's 1994. Looks like we have a hold on the return by the Ben Davis Giants, so that will be a 10-yard penalty for the Giants, who just didn't have much offense other than that first drive. Definitely not the good start for them. Yeah, there's a hold right there. That was number 12 for the Giants on that hold. So now Ben Davis will start on their own 13-yard line. The Crown Point Bulldogs coming off that late field goal to make this a one-possession game. Thomas Gatkowski, 6 of 12 with 63 yards and a touchdown as well as an interception. Starts the game with an empty backfield, 3 receivers on his right, 2 on the bottom. Gatkowski's going to drop back. He's got some time, throws it in the middle of the field. That one's incomplete and dropped. He had Zane Skabinski wide open at the 22-yard line, but drops it, and now it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they had Skabinski wide open in the middle of the field. Crown Point playing that 2 high safety shell, leaves that middle open. Skabinski was right there in the window of the zone. The ball hit him in the hands, but
that's the second time we've seen the ball go right through the hands of Skabinski. You go back to that interception that Gatkowski through the hands of Skabinski. There's a play to Elijah Price, makes a man miss, and now tackled at about the 15-yard line. So I don't know. I believe that was I don't know if that was a backward pass. It was a little tricky. That was kind of in that territory. Nevertheless, it's going to be about a 5-yard gain for Elijah Price. And, Russ Mann said it in that halftime interview. Look, if they want to give Elijah Price all the room to run, they have no problem handing it off every play. It's going to be 3rd and 5 at that.
Big play here.
15-yard line. Yeah, you mentioned a big play with 11:15 and counting. Empty backfield for Gatkowski. 3 receivers on the left, 2 on the right. He drops back, and right up the middle, there's Zane Skabinski, and he caught it, and he's tackled at the 29-yard line. That's a big Four Seasons mechanical first down for the Giants. He was making sure he was not dropping that one.
Yeah, I mean, they ran that same concept that they ran on first down. Skabinski over the middle, occupying the empty window of that zone. Easy pitch and catch, and he made sure, like you said, not to drop that one. He brought it in, waited a second, made sure he had it.
30-yard line now, hand off to Elijah Price, a counter, and he goes to the 40-yard line and some more. It's a Four Seasons mechanical first down, brought down at about the 43-yard line, and when you're able to get those holes in the passing game, that's going to allow a guy like Elijah Price to find holes in the running game, and he is very quick. If you don't judge that first step as a lineman or a linebacker, he's going to beat you right off the jump.
Yeah, they went with the draw there, used the Crown Point defense's aggressiveness against him. Big run for Price.
Just like that, they're on the 43-yard line. Gatkowski keeps it himself, goes to the right side, now on that far sideline, and he's just going to run out of bounds. Short of the first down, but was able to get 7 yards on that carry. So Gatkowski, he's done that a couple of times, the QB keeper. And it looks like maybe we have a flag here on the play.
It looks like it's going to be a hold against Ben Davis. One of their coaches was jumping up and down. He was not happy.
Yep, that's going to be a hold on Ben Davis. Good call right there, Rick. It's the first hold on offense we've seen from both teams in today's game. And kind of looking at the replay, it looked like that was number, I believe that's 72. That's going to be on the hold.
Alex Howard.
So that will send Ben Davis back.
Yeah, that's a tough one because you get a big run there, a 9-yard gain on first down. Now you're looking at
1st and 20 at the 33-yard line. So they were at the 43 and looked like to be just at the 50-yard line. Now all the way back at the 33-yard line. 1st and 20, empty backfield. Gakowski down the middle of the field and caught by Mark Zachary and brought down at the 50-yard line. So the receiver able to make the catch. He's had a quiet game so far on offense, but able to make the huge grab right there. That was a gain of 18, and now it's 2nd and 2.
Yeah, nice job. You mentioned in the first half, the Crown Point pass rush is just not getting there. They're only getting a 3-man line, so they're dropping 8 guys. They're really trying to take away the pass. The problem is Gakowski has had all day to throw basically the entire game.
2nd and 2 now. There's Elijah Price on the right side, now at the 40-yard line. And there is speed, breaks a tackle. The 20, the 10, the 5, and Elijah Price takes it to the house. The price is right. And just like that, Ben Davis extends their lead now 16-3. It's a 49-yard rushing touchdown. He broke a couple of tackles, and once he crossed that 45-yard line, he was off to the races.
Yeah, it was a great play. Just being able to break 3 or 4 tackles in the open space. If you're Crown Point, you really wanted to eliminate explosive plays from Ben Davis, and right there, Price gives him one, and that's a big, big play coming out in that first drive of the second half.
And Russ Mann said he wants that 2-touchdown lead, as the extra point by Rudolph is good, and he has himself a 2-touchdown lead. 17-3, Elijah Price, 49 yards to the house, as the Giants lead 17-3. We're going to take a break here for our game night in the region, built by Von Tobel. You're listening to the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
This box is small, like Pet Supplies Plus. This one is large, like a big box store. In each, Stu, has carefully hidden a toy. Question is, which dog will find it first? Ta-da! Moose, no! You were so close.
Back here in the third quarter with 9:37 to go, the Giants have their largest lead, 17-3. Thank you all for joining us on this Saturday night for the Class 6A state championship game at Lucas Oil Stadium. I'm Jack Thiel. Alongside me, Rick Novak. Justin Cole is producing today's game, but Russ Mann, said at halftime, if they're going to give us the running lanes, we'll take them. And when you have a running back like Elijah Price, who, look, he has the speed, he has the agility, he has the elusiveness, he has the quickness, but he's got great ball sense. He knows where to go on the field. He knows where the holes are. He knows where to make those cuts. You saw it right there. Made one jump cut, and it was off to the races.
Yeah, it was a great run. Explosive play for that Ben Davis offense after they had been kind of stymied since that opening drive. They really needed that. Crown Point, they have to respond here. I think they need a touchdown. I think they need to put the ball in the end zone here, bring it back to a one-score game. You do not want to let this thing snowball.
A field goal, if they were to kick one, would make it a 2-possession game still. Nevertheless, we saw the Bulldog offense really get kind of that juice going on that last drive. We saw a big pass from Noah Ehrlich to Soley, and we saw the huge 33-yard run from Larry Ellison. So Crown Point, they were able to find those explosive plays on that last drive, which led to that field goal by Oliver Brewer. You're going to have to find that again. I think you're going to have to try to find the running game a little bit more, but Noah Ehrlich's going to have to do it with his arm. And, one thing I'm going to ask is, where's Landon Delich? You got to find your 6'4" receiver. Let him use his size. Although the DBs for Ben Davis got some height, you got 6 foot and 6'1", Landon Delich is 6'4". He's got 3 inches on these guys. Throw it up to him and let him make a play. I've had the opportunity to call a couple Crown Point games prior to this one, and the connection to Ehrlich to Delich was one of the best connections I've seen from the quarterback to receiver in the region. So I think if you're Noah Ehrlich, you got to find Landon Delich. Maybe try to create some one-on-one plays for him and have him go up and get it. Trust your guy.
I think the problem is Ben Davis has countered Delich with Zachary most of the game. And even if Delich does have a size advantage, Zachary is an explosive athlete, a shutdown corner. It's just tough to get anything going against the guy he's covering.
Well, there's a return. Jacob Jones, nowhere to go. He's going to be brought down and hit hard. And this Ben Davis team seems to have a little bit more juice than they had coming out of halftime, just because obviously now they do have their largest lead of the game. So with 9:27 to go, after that Quintel kickoff, and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, Crown Point, will be at the 17-yard line. It was a 12-yard return by Jacob Jones. So the offense will come out, definitely now in their biggest hole yet. And it is a big drive just because maybe the Ben Davis offense has finally found their footing. And, you know, if you don't score here and they score again, now it's kind of getting really out of reach. And we've seen Ben Davis, they do have the ability to run the clock a little bit with Elijah Price, as there's the handoff on the first play to Larry Ellison, about a 2-yard gain, so that will now be moved up to the Crown Point 19-yard line. Larry Ellison so far on the day, he's got 11 rushes for 50 yards, averaging about 4.5 yards per carry. It's a big thanks, obviously, to that 34-yard carry previously happened late in the second quarter, but with 9 minutes and counting, it's 2nd and 8. This Ben Davis defense, they haven't allowed a touchdown tonight so far, only that field goal. And Ehrlich will keep it himself, rolls to his right. He's got some pressure, trying to find some time. He loses the ball. It's a fumble on the ground, up for grabs. I think the Giants might have jumped on it. We'll see where they signal it. You had number 60, Elias Pavakis, jump on it maybe as well, and that is going to be the case. It looks like the Bulldogs are going to recover the football. Noah Ehrlich, he was waiting for his receiver to get open, and that ball just popped out. Great pressure by the Ben Davis defense. You had number 44, Nehemiah Dow, he's the one who knocked it loose on the play. He's had a huge season for the Giants defense, 7.5 tackles for loss and 5.5 sacks. It was him and Ehrlich out there. It was a one-on-one kind of tackle and was able to knock that one out. And this one looks like he might have punted it. And that's going to be the case. I thought that was only 2nd down. Nevertheless, they're going to punt it. And for Ben Davis, they are having all the confidence in the world right now. You're able to force that fumble, pin them way back in their own end zone. They have to punt the ball. And the punt wasn't the greatest. It was a 31 punt, and the ball is now at the Crown Point 32-yard line. Getting really dangerous right now.
Yeah, all the momentum is on the Ben Davis Giants side. I mean, you know, I think they're, like I said, they're looking for the nail in the coffin, I think, right now. You know, if they put the ball in the end zone right here, they probably think that they're winning the ball game. They go up 3 touchdowns. So I expect them to be very aggressive here. They're going for the jugular.
Yep, 17-3, 8:04. Ben Davis, like we said, on the Crown Point 32-yard line. Empty backfield, 3 receivers on the right, 2 on the left. Elijah Price, the running back, lined up. Actually, no, that's going to be Cameron Morrison lined up as a receiver. Skotkowski, quick pass. That one's going to be caught and quickly goes down. That's number 16 on the grab. Tyler McLean had 30 catches going into tonight's game. So 2nd and 5 now on the Crown Point 27-yard line with 7:50 in counting in this third quarter. Ben Davis, they scored on their first drive here in the second half. It was a 49-yard rushing touchdown by Elijah Price. The defense came right back out, forced a fumble on Noah Ehrlich, and they had a punt at the 1-yard line of their own side of the field. So 2nd and 5, got 2 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Elijah Price in the backfield. Gotkowski's going to drop back. He's got some time. Finds his running back, Elijah Price, who loses his footing, but he's going to stay on his feet and brought down at about the 12-yard line. It was like an HB wheel right there. Was able to be right up the seam. Like you keep saying, they need to run up the seam, and there he was. And if he didn't lose his footing, be able to get a couple more yards. Nevertheless, that's a 4-season mechanical first down, a 15-yard pass at the Crown Point 12-yard line.
Yeah, Price did a little break dance right there to keep his balance. That was very impressive. Tariq Cohen, I think they used to call him the human joystick. Price was doing his old Tariq Cohen impression right there. Very impressive. The balance right there
same build, 5'6", 165. I mean, it's not too far off the build, but here's the first play, or 1st and 10 play. Cameron Morrison on the carry, breaks a couple of tackles, but there's Will Clark on the defensive end, hits him, but still a 2-yard gain for Cameron Morrison, the senior running back. He is the backup to Elijah Price, but still has 364 rushing yards on the year, and a little bit of miscommunication between Morrison and Price. They had both of their running backs out there on the play, so it's going to be 2nd and 8 on the Crown Point 10. The time keeps ticking. About 6:20 and counting now left on the clock. There will be a singular running back in Price in the backfield. He got 2 receivers, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. Time keeps ticking now at that 10-yard line of the Crown Point Bulldogs. Gotkowski, delayed handoff to Price. Price now moves to his right. Cross the 10, moves towards the 5, still on his feet, trying to extend the play. And there's a pile, and there's a push, but it's going to be brought down at the 4-yard line. Elijah Price, like we just said, he's 5'6", and only 165 pounds, but a great job by him to extend that play, push the pile. It's going to be a first down for Ben Davis. They're going to mark him down at the 2-yard line.
Yeah, it was a great run. I mean, they had him here at the 7-yard line, and he pushed this pile up to almost the 2, basically by himself with no help from extra linemen pushing him or anything. He's, very powerful, even if he's a small guy. He runs very low to the ground, and there's, he's just one little small muscle, basically. I mean, he's a tough little guy. So.
Wildcat formation. Price takes it himself, and untouched he goes in the end zone for a Ben Davis touchdown, his second of the night, and just like that, the Giants have their largest lead. It's 23-3. First time we've seen a direct snap to the running back, and like I said, untouched, he went in the end zone.
Yeah, they brought in Nylan Brown, Drew Evans, 2 of their linebackers on defense to be the lead blockers there. They both threw great blocks. Price just moseyed his way into the end zone. Could have drove a truck through the hole, so to speak. And now Ben Davis going to push this lead after this extra point, potentially to 21, and Crown Point is in real trouble.
Elijah Price on today, 13 carries, 141 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's averaging almost 11 yards per carry as the Rudolph extra point is good. And Ben Davis now leads 24-3 with 5:42 to go here in the third quarter. We're going to take a break here in our Game Night in the Region, built by Von Toll, but you're listening to the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
24-3 the score is here in the third quarter at Lucas Oil Stadium for the Class 6A state championship game. Ben Davis going for their 10th state title at Crown Point. They're playing for their first state championship in school history. Craig Bazia in his third year with the Bulldogs, 28-6, but overall he has 241 wins in 31 years. This is his third trip to the state title game, one with an Illinois school, one with an Indiana school. In fact, I don't know how many other coaches have done this, but with tonight, he has now taken 3 different teams to the highest class in the state championship. So, no matter result tonight for the Crown Point Bulldogs, Craig Bazia is one of the best coaches that this region area has to offer. Although he did go to Illinois for a little bit, he's got such a great football mind, and obviously his story is amazing. I mean, beating cancer right now, and the way he's been able to battle off the football field and on the football field, and he's just such an inspiration, not just for this football team, for the community of Crown Point. Obviously our viewers or our listeners can't see this, but since this year, the Crown Point Bulldogs, they wear a orange ribbon on their helmets for him. And against their game against Chicago Taft, it was 2 cancer survivors. You had Craig Bazia, and I believe it was the principal of Chicago Taft. They both got together, and I said, let's play a game. Let's make this bigger than football. And they did. So Craig Bazia is just one of the best coaches in the area has to offer, and his story is so amazing. And you can tell how these players love to play for him. I mean, obviously the support with the orange ribbons on the helmet, but also just because whenever you ask about Craig Bazia or you talk about Craig Bazia, it's nothing but great things.
I mean, yeah, he's obviously highly respected throughout the entire region. He's, this proof is in the pudding, so to speak.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
He came down there, he reinvigorated the Crown Point community from a football perspective, and now he's got them down at Lucas Oil Stadium. So, I mean, he really is quite, an incredible football coach. He's a great leader of young men. So, he's the kind of guy that you want your kid to play for.
Yep. Well, the Quintel kickoff, presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. It was a fair catch by Nick Soley. I think they were just making sure it was a fair catch on this one, and it was. Officials making sure they got the right call down on the field. So Crown Point. They're going to be 1st and 10 with 5:41 to go at their 25-yard line. And for the Bulldogs, it says, actually, no, it's not going to be the 25-yard line. It's the fair catch, not in the end zone. That's going to be all the way back to the 8-yard line. So Noah Ehrlich on the first play, drops back. He's going to throw it to the sideline and almost picked off. You had, looked like number 6, Elvin Contreras right there, who has 5 interceptions on the year, almost had his 6th. It's incomplete, 2nd and 10 on the 8-yard line. And a bad break there for Crown Point, not just on that play, but on that kickoff.
Yeah, it's tough. I think Soley was trying to just signal to Jones that he was taking it. Unfortunately, the signal he used looked very much like a fair catch sign. And in college, if you fair catch from inside the 20, it starts at the 20, but not in high school football, unfortunately. So, bad mistake there. They're lucky that the ball that Ehrlich threw right there wasn't a pick six as well.
For the first time all night, it's a direct snap to Larry Ellison on that 2nd and 10 play. He gets about 3 yards on the carry. We've seen that play a lot over the past couple of weeks. It's the first time we're seeing it tonight. It's had a lot of success. I mean, the way it's been able to draw down the clock and, not have teams like Westfield and Penn be able to take advantage in terms of having the ball. And really the time of possession was where it really came into effect. And, 3rd and 8 with 5 and counting and you're down 21, maybe you're going to try this type of offense, try to find something that you haven't tried all night.
Yeah, you got to find something that's going to work. I mean, they've had some struggles moving the football. They've had a couple big explosive plays, but they haven't been able to string anything together.
3rd and 8 on that 10-yard line. Noah Ehrlich able to spin out of trouble. Down the sideline. Throws it down the sideline. That one's low. I believe they're going to give him a catch. They are. A great grab right there. That's Nick Soley for a Four Seasons Mechanical first down. They're going to mark that at the 22-yard line. So a 12-yard pass from Noah Ehrlich, and an impressive job by that quarterback. Kept the play alive and a throw on the run.
Yeah, it was a great job by Ehrlich, spinning to his left, being able to flip his hips and make that completion to Soley on the outside. Big first down, at least to give you some breathing room.
22 on the Crown Point side. Larry Ellison now with the carry at the 30-yard line and more down at the 40-yard line. It's a Four Seasons Mechanical first down. Larry Ellison, who's gimping a little bit, able to give Crown Point another big-time run, as that's going to be down at the 41-yard line. It looks like we actually might have a flag here. It is going to be holding on the offense, so that run is going to go back all the way. And that's just a tough break. That was a 19-yard run by Larry Ellison, and like we said, to the Crown Point 41-yard line, but it's coming back. It's going to be 1st and 20 now for the Bulldogs. They'll be at their own 12-yard line.
Yeah, that's a tough break. You finally get a little bit of a big run here in the second half. Unfortunately, maybe the hold was the reason you got the big run. I like the call on the draw. Use that Ben Davis pass rush against them. Unfortunately, you got to be able to be disciplined with your hands in that situation.
1st and 20. Ehrlich rolls to his right, throws it down the field. That one's going to be caught, and there's Landon Delich. Not enough for the first down, but still makes it second and manageable. And that's what you want to see. I think Landon Delich needs to get something going. That's a 14-yard pass.
Yeah, I like it. They run that little comeback route to him again. It's a great throw by Ehrlich. It's a great catch by Delich to be able to get those feet down. It was 1st and 20. You're going to put yourself in 2nd and 6. So 14-yard gain. Make it, give yourself a chance to convert this into a first down.
Yeah, that catch has them at their own 26-yard line now with 4:18 to go. And also, he got out of bounds. That stops the clock as Ehrlich hands it off to Ellison. Ellison carrying a defender on his back. He's going to be tackled just short of that first down marker. Looks like maybe 3rd and inches on that play, but Crown Point, they've been able to find some holes in that running game, and here they go. Quick offense on 3rd and 1. Ehrlich quickly hands it off to Ellison on the left side, and for a Four Seasons Mechanical first down, able to get all the way to the 39-yard line. So that quick no-huddle offense works to perfection. It's an 8-yard gain on that 3rd down carry, actually. That might be coming back. I don't know if we got a timeout or if we got a flag here.
Looks like, Crown Point went pretty quick there. Ben Davis had some guys running off the field. So it would have been a first down either way. I think they're
it doesn't matter. The flag will be declined. It's still a first down for the Bulldogs. They are now at their own 39-yard line. But that's great awareness by the offense to realize right away, look, it's 3rd and 1. Let's go. let's get this Giants defense off guard, and that's what it did. Nevertheless, they were able to get an 8-yard gain on that play. So Ellison 13 yards on his last 2 runs with under 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. But you're going to need a little bit more urgency from this Bulldog offense because now you need 3 touchdowns just to tie the game. So 3:39 to go. Ehrlich keeps it himself. He's got some time. Steps up in the pocket. He was hit as he throws. That one's up in the air, and it's picked off. Number 13, Yassine Falk, his 4th interception on the year. And Noah Ehrlich, he took a hit as soon as he threw the ball. And it was a tough play just because you had 2 giant defenders right there on the play to make the catch.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to make a play. He kind of forces it into double coverage. He's taking a big hit. Like I said, he's trying to make a play, and it's a great play by their DB. He tips it to himself. Falk did. He's about 6'1" on Jones, who's 5'8", so a big height advantage. We've talked about that height advantage all night long on the outside for Ben Davis. They've really taken advantage of that with their DBs and receivers against the Crown Point DBs and receivers.
On that play, it was Yassine Falk and Elijah Hearns. Falk actually tipped it first. Then Jones kind of tipped it to Falk to make the grab. So that's the second interception forced by this Ben Davis defense. First, it was Elijah Hearns who made that first interception. Now it's Yassine Falk. And, for Crown Point, you're kind of running an offense that you're not used to. You're forced to throw the ball more downfield passes. And you're getting out of your comfort zone because I feel like for the Bulldogs, they're not playing their style. They're playing Ben Davis' style of the game.
Well, I think once you're down 3 touchdowns in the second half, the defense is now dictating what you're doing. I mean, you have to start throwing the ball. That allows the Ben Davis pass rush to kind of pin their ears back and go. Yeah. And it allows those DBs to know, hey, they're throwing the ball here. It makes everybody on that defense's job easier.
Yeah, that's just a great play on defense for the Giants and for this Bulldog team. I mean, really going down to kind of their really thin ice right now just because you're down by 21. The Ben Davis defense, or offense, I should say, has scored twice on the 2 drives they've had here in the second half, both by Elijah Price. Seems the running game has really gotten going. You mentioned Elijah Price on the night. He's averaging almost 11 yards per carry. The defense for Crown Point, they really need a stop here. And what we heard from halftime, you could tell what's the message to these football players. It was, we'll pass the ball, we'll run the ball, we'll take whatever they give us, and we want to get up multiple touchdowns. They gave them the running lanes, they gave them the passing lanes, and now they're up multiple touchdowns. And for this Giant team, everything has gone their way. It's just so hard because, look, Ben Davis, I mean, they're some of the best in the area, and obviously one of the best, they're a top 50 team in the nation. When you have a team like IMG Academy wanting to play you, that speaks to measures of how good your program is. As Gakowski on the first play drops back, throws it down the middle of the field, and caught by Mark Zachary, still on his feet, and brought down at the 45-yard line on the Crown Point side. So that's a 4 seasons mechanical first down, and right out of the gate goes to his junior receiver, Mark Zachary.
Yeah, it was a great throw by Gakowski, putting it right onto Zachary. Zachary, nice little run after the catch, another 5-10 yards. They're really starting to gash this Crown Point defense consistently.
23-yard gain that play was with 3 minutes and counting left on the clock. It's 1st and 10. 4 receivers on the field. For the Giants, you have Cameron Morrison in the backfield, the backup running back. Gakowski, quick pass. That one's tipped up in the air, and it's going to be incomplete. Will Clark came up on the edge and judged that throw perfectly. And a good play right there by the senior committed to Buffalo. He's had a huge year for this Bulldog defense. 122 tackles, 13 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, and a defensive touchdown. He's been the true leader of this defense. And right there, able to make an impact and try to keep his team in it. This defense did such a good job in that first half, but the Giants' offense has really made the adjustments they needed to for this third quarter. There's a handoff to Cameron Morrison, bounces off to the right side, but brought down. He had Dominic Fanton and Will Clark on the tackle. It was a 4-yard gain down at about the 41-yard line of Crown Point. So now 3rd and 6 with 2:30 to go. This would be a huge stop for the Bulldogs after that turnover.
Yeah, I mean, if they want any chance of winning this game, they need to get off the field right here. I think that's not an exaggeration. So big play here for the Crown Point defense.
3rd and 6, Gotkowski. He's got some time, steps up to the pocket. He's going to take it himself, rolls to his left. He's way past the line of scrimmage. He throws it down the field. It's caught for a touchdown. I don't know. I don't think he's going to get this one. That was number 16, Tyler McLean, on the grab. He was way past that line of scrimmage when he threw it.
No, that was obvious. I was hoping I was going to see a flag because if I didn't, that would have been that would have been a
there's the flag. So the officials met, and there's the flag. And what that penalty is you have to have some type of your body part where that line of scrimmage was, but. For Thomas Gotkowski, he was about 3 yards ahead of the line of scrimmage. He almost could have ran it for the first down.
He definitely could have ran it for the touchdown. The number 16, Tyler McLean for Ben Davis, he was wide open in the end zone.
There was no one there.
Probably because the DB started running up because they thought Gotkowski was going to run it because he's 2 or 3 yards past the line of scrimmage by the time he uncorks this one.
Yeah, he's 2 yards past that line of scrimmage. And you're right. I mean, when you're a defender, you know where that line of scrimmage is. You see the quarterback cross it. You know he can't throw it. So no touchdown there. It's going to be 4th and 7 with 2:09 to go on the Crown Point 42-yard line. We've seen them be aggressive all night. You think about it, if you punt it, you could pin them back in their own territory. But this offense really hasn't been stopped in the second half, and it looks like Russ Mann, he's going to call a timeout here with 2:09 to go. Kind of maybe set the right play or just want to see how the Crown Point defense would line up. What would you do here if you're Ben Davis? Because the offense has been able to move the ball pretty easily here in the third quarter, but their defense has been standing tall. And if you're able to pin them way back in their own territory in terms of Crown Point, you could be able to flip the field possession in a way.
Yeah, I mean, I'd just punt here, to be honest. I mean, your defense is so dominant right now. Crown Point has nothing going offensively. You punt this one, you pin them within the 10-yard line. And I think that's, you might be able to just get a 3-and-out, get the punt back, and have the same field position. I think going for this one, potentially not getting it, Crown Point, who knows, they get good field position. Maybe they get a quick score all of a sudden. Maybe they got some life again. I just think it's probably a smarter idea to punt this one away. But it did look like that they were going to line up to go for it. And I think in their mind, they're probably thinking, if we make this forward, it's for sure over. There's absolutely nothing that's going to happen. So pretty aggressive play. It looks like a pretty aggressive play call potentially coming from Ben Davis. But in this situation, I do understand why they're doing it because, it is sort of a game-winning type scenario.
Well, we have some time. Langle's Pizza has been a favorite spot since 1979. Enjoy pizza, sandwiches, and more. You can dine in or carry out as Langle serves Northwest Indiana from their 3 locations, Highland, Cherryville, and Crown Point. Order online at langlespizza.com. Langle's Pizza, the official pizza of the Region Sports Network. Maryland and the Pace team invite everyone to take photos with Santa and Mrs. Claus in the lower level of the historic Lake County Courthouse from noon to 4 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays beginning November 25th through December 17th. Please bring a camera. A big thank you to Strack & Van Til for being our hometown scoreboard sponsor throughout the football season. They're also our hometown scoreboard sponsor throughout the basketball, wrestling, and baseball season as well. It's your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. Shop online for delivery or curbside pickup at strackandvantil.com. Stay with Region Sports after the game as we'll send it back to the Centier Bank Studio. The RSN Crew will recap this Class 6A state championship game, all from the Centier Bank Studio. And at the conclusion of today's game, we'll name the Crowell Company's Lantern Man Superhero to game, our Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar play to game, and our IKRCC Proud Union Home play to game. 4th and 7, the Giants go for it, and he's found Mark Zachary. That's a Four Seasons Mechanical first down. You mentioned how you think they should punt it. Well, Thomas Gotkowski was able to sling it and find his star receiver with 2 minutes to go.
Again, those little curl routes on the outside. Crown Point, they're giving so much respect to Zachary vertically that they just got to, run vertical, stop for a second, and those routes are all open all day long for the Giants.
So after that conversion, Cameron Morrison on the carry. Gets about 3 yards on that run, so the ball now at the Crown Point 30-yard line. That pass to Zachary was for 9 yards. So the junior receiver on the day, 5 catches, 69 yards. He's been targeted 7 times. Thomas Gotkowski, 131 passing yards so far today. So 2nd and 7, about a minute 30 left here in the third quarter. 24-3, the Giants lead. Gostkowski keeps it himself. Quick pass to the far sideline near Crown Point. That's Zane Skabinski. Breaks the tackle. It's going to be more and a first down. So Zane Skabinski broke the first defender. That was number 5, Jacob Jones. He's able to get a 4-season mechanical first down. It's an 11-yard pass. And now they're down at the Crown Point 19-yard line.
Yeah, you know, they're going for it all right now, I think. You know, that fourth down conversion, that was big. Crown Point absolutely had to get off the field there. Now Ben Davis, I think they're just it's going to be all academic from this point.
3 receivers on the right of Gotowski, 1 on the left. Quick screen pass right there. Oh, it's going to be a trick. A throw. And wide open. Mark Zachary with the catch. It was Javier Horton, the receiver, who threw the touchdown pass. And Mark Zachary has his first touchdown grab of the night. And Ben Davis extends their lead. It's now 30-3. It's a 19-yard. Oh, pulling the rabbit out of the hat. You have Javier Horton, who we have not called his name all night. He delivers a perfect spiral pass to a wide-open Mark Zachary. And just when you think you expect what Ben Davis is going to run, they pull something probably that you can't find on the film.
Yeah, I mean, they go a little bubble screen to Javier Horton, and then he just kind of takes one step back, throws the ball over the top. Zachary, he kind of faked like he was blocking, ran past the defense when they stepped up because they thought it was the quick screen. He's wide open in the end zone, easy pitch and catch. I like the play call from Ben Davis, go for it all with a little bit of flash and some substance to it, and it worked absolutely perfectly.
31-3, the Giants lead. We're going to take a break here for our game night in the region, built by Von Tobel. You're listening to the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Von Tobel is your locally owned building material supplier and design center. We have a department for every room in your home. Visit one of our 3 Northwest Indiana showrooms to see your options for kitchen cabinets, countertops, vanities, showers, flooring, decking, and more. Visit VonTobels.com for project inspiration and to request a free design consultation. Von Tobel, building better, together.
Back here as Ben Davis leads by 28. This Giants offense, they've had 3 drives in this third quarter. All have resulted in touchdowns. You have 2 rushing touchdowns by Elijah Price this quarter. And, I didn't think I was going to put this on my spot chart, but Javier Horton, a passing touchdown. He has 2 receiving touchdowns tonight, or I should say this year. Finds Mark Zachary for his 8th touchdown of the year. And with 58 seconds left in this third quarter, it's been all Giants in this second half.
No, I think whatever Coach Mann told them at halftime really resonated with them. I think we saw in his interview going into the half, he was pretty fired up. You know, he was really you could tell that he wanted this lead to be bigger.
Yeah.
And 21 points in this third quarter for the Giants. They've really put the smash the pedal to the metal, so to speak, and they put it on the Crown Point Bulldogs.
Well, there's a return from Jacob Jones, able to get to about the 20-yard line as this kickoff, and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated. For Ben Davis, they have scored a total of 24 points on all their last 4 drives dating back to the second quarter. For the Bulldogs, they're trying to find something to keep them in this game. On their last 4 drives, they've thrown an interception, a field goal, a punt, and an interception. So Noah Ehrlich trying to keep his team in it. I mean, he's a great leader, and the guys just love to play with him. This game's not over yet. I've seen crazy things in football in my lifetime watching and calling games, but it's going to be one large task to complete. So there's Larry Ellison on a direct snap, nowhere really to go, able to get back to that line of scrimmage. You had Noah Ehrlich out there as well trying to run some trickery of their own. So 2nd and 10 as it's 40 seconds and counting at that Crown Point 20-yard line. 21 points scored by the Giants here. In the third quarter, this was a 10-3 game when we went to halftime. And Ben Davis, look, they just flipped a switch. It seems like they were not happy with only being up by 7 points, and they have really found their footing. As here is 2nd and 10, 19 seconds. Noah Ehrlich pump fakes it, throws it down the field, and that one's going to be overthrown and out of bounds. He was targeting Nick Soley on the throw, so now 12 seconds remain. There is a flag on the play, so we'll see maybe if there was some contact on that route ran by Nick Soley. And there is. There's going to be a pass interference call on the Ben Davis defense. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty that will allow Crown Point to go up to their own 35-yard line with 12 seconds to go. A fresh set of downs. And if you're Crown Point, that's just what you needed. Maybe that's what you're going to have to do. Maybe take some shots down the field, try to get those one-on-one coverage, and, just have your receiver try to make a play, and maybe you'll get those penalties here and there.
Exactly. I mean, you're getting 15 yards for free. I think, at this point, you do try to just start bombing it downfield.
Mm-hmm.
I think, there's no real more messing around. You got to just, Ehrlich can chuck it, see if somebody can run under it.
Well, there's a handoff to Ellison. Able to break a couple of tackles, still on his feet, weaving his way through and brought down for about 9.5 yards on that carry. He's going to be brought down at the Crown Point 44-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 1, as that will be the conclusion of the third quarter. Ben Davis, they lead 31-3, and when we come back, it will be the start of the fourth quarter for the Class 6A state championship game. It's our game night in the region, built by Von Tobel, as you're listening to the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
About to get set here in the fourth quarter. A big thank you to everybody for tuning into tonight's action. Wherever we're from, we appreciate you listening into this Saturday night. I'm Jack Thiel, Rick Novak alongside me, Justin Cole, our producer for today's audio broadcast. And while we have this moment, I want to thank everybody for this football season, as tonight is the conclusion of the Indiana high school football season. We've kind of gone into wrestling and basketball a little bit, but I just want to thank everybody within the RSN crew and all the fans who have tuned in, who have listened, all the way back in August to tonight. A big thank you to everybody. You guys are the true heroes. You people are the reason why we do this. You guys have been so awesome this year, and it's such an amazing opportunity that we have this chance to watch this Crown Point team, especially in the Class 6A. First time ever a team from the region has made the Class 6A state championship. The first time ever the Crown Point Bulldogs are playing in a state championship. Win or lose, this has just been one amazing ride to watch this Bulldog team. You, myself, Mike, so many people within RSN, we knew how special this Bulldog team was from the start, and although things are not going well for them at the moment, it's just been so amazing to watch this team on this journey, and it's been so amazing to see how many people are behind this team in our comments, watching all the shows, listening to the game tonight. It's been truly remarkable, and I just want to thank everybody for all their support and all of their love throughout this season, and a big thank you to everybody who has made this happen.
No, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun this whole season. A lot of memories.
Absolutely.
And it's been a lot of good football played, and it's Crown Point, seeing them get down here, it's history. It's history.
Mm-hmm.
And even though the game maybe isn't going particularly well for them right now, this has been so cool to see a region team get down here. And now the next step is a region team to get down here and win.
Absolutely. No, that is the case on the 6A class. There's the 2nd and 1 handoff right to Ellison. It looks like he just got enough for a 4-season mechanical first down at the 45-yard line of Crown Point. So they're still driving down the field on this drive, trying to create some type of comeback. And they will move the chains for them with 11:45 and counting. And, yeah, it's unfortunate to see Crown Point down by this much. And obviously at the moment you're not happy with the result, but you have to be so proud of this team, the way they fought, not just the whole year, but the last 2 weeks, beating teams like Penn and Westfield. Here's the first down play. And there's picked off right there. That's number 0, Tariq Oyashigi. He's going through, and he's going to be brought down at the 15-yard line. Ben Davis forces their 3rd interception of the night. This time it comes from the senior linebacker who leads the team in tackles, Tariq Oyashigi.
Yeah, Noah, he's trying to, make a play, but he's throwing the ball into heavy coverage. There was multiple purple jerseys where he threw that football.
Yeah.
And, this one has just gotten away from Crown Point. This Ben Davis defense, they're swarming. The momentum in this second half has been all on the Giants' side. Now they got, they're in the red zone again, knocking on the door for another score. This has been, it's been all Giants in this second half. They've kind of wore the Bulldogs out. The Bulldogs had a great showing there in that first half, but they just haven't been able to keep it up.
This drive will start on the 14-yard line. A bad snap. Gotkowski will handle it himself. He stays with it, throws it to the end zone, and it's caught. What a diving grab. Lane Skabinski for his second one of the night. Thomas Gotkowski turns a negative play into a huge touchdown throw, a 14-yard throw, although where that ball ended up being on that bad snap, it's actually about a 30-yard touchdown pass, and now Ben Davis leads 37-3.
Yeah, it was a great job by Skabinski. Seeing the play break down, he broke off his route, broke it back over towards Gotkowski, and he was wide. It's so hard to cover a guy in the scramble drill like that, and it was a great pitch and catch because Gotkowski, he's throwing the ball off his back foot from about the 30-yard line, and Skabinski has to make a diving catch for it. I mean, if you're Crown Point, there's nothing really you can do about that.
38-3, the Giants lead. Thomas Gotkowski, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lane Skabinski, the receiver, he's got 2 touchdowns with 4 catches and 73 yards. It's all Giants here in the second half as we're going to take a break for our game night in the region built by Von Tobel. You're listening to the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Centrally located in downtown Indianapolis, the Hampton Inn is just steps away from Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Situated at 105 South Meridian Street, shopping, restaurants, entertainment, and many Indianapolis attractions are in near proximity. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a gym fitness center. For reservations, the number is 317-261-1200. The website is hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
11:11 to go here in the fourth quarter after that touchdown pass from Thomas Gotkowski to Lane Skabinski, and it's just an unfortunate break or play right there for Crown Point because it was a really bad snap. It got past Gotkowski to the 30-yard line, and he's able to create some time and find Skabinski all the way in the end zone. It's just really unfortunate break for Crown Point on that play.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really you can do about that one, right? I mean, it's just a great play by 2 pretty good players, and you just got to tip your hat to them. Ben Davis, they've been laser focused here in this second half. I mean, they've made all the plays. They've gotten 4 pretty explosive plays here. They've just, really, ended any hope of Crown Point winning this football game. So it's been a very impressive half of football from the Ben Davis Giants. They've shown why they've been considered one of the best teams in the state the entire year. I mean, and they played all the best teams to get here. They've played numbers, 1, 2, and 3 to get here. The 3 other best teams in the state. They've passed every test. Crown Point, they played tough with them for a half. But Ben Davis just running away with this one in the second half.
Back-to-back big plays for the Giants. You had the interception by Tariq Oyashigi. And then, like we said, that touchdown pass from Thomas Gotkowski to Zane Skabinski with 11:11 to go here in the fourth quarter. Getting set for the kickoff, 38-3. As this kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. Stay tuned after the game as we'll name our crowd company's Lantern Man Superhero of the game, our Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the game, and our proud Union Home Play of the game, presented by IKOR CC. So Ben Rudolph will kick this one off for the Giants. 5 touchdowns in the game so far. 4 of them coming here in the second half. 4 of them coming in their last 4 drives. As here is the kick. That one's going to be caught just at about the 5-yard line. It's going to be returned. Now at the 15, now at the 20. That's Larry Ellison, the returner, able to get it out to about the Crown Point 23-yard line. Now 11:03 left here in the fourth quarter. So Noah Ehrlich definitely having one of his hardest games of the year. 3 interceptions on tonight. All 3 have been picked off by different defenders on this Ben Davis team. What are you looking for from Crown Point? Obviously, you're down by this much, 35 points, 11:03 to go. What are you looking for from this team?
Just go out and play with pride and finish this one off tough, and strong. It's the game is out of reach at this point, but you still want to have some pride. You want to put this ball in the end zone. You want to fight to the very end.
Well, there's a handoff to Ellison on the first play, and he's quickly met at the line of scrimmage. Multiple Giants there. That one was Isaiah White. He was the first defender there. Their name is the Giants, but they're also built like Giants. Isaiah White, 6'3", 265. And you're an old lineman for Crown Point. It's really hard to match up against a guy that big, but also that quick.
To be quite frank, I've had the thought in this game that this is men versus boys a couple times. Okay. Crown Point, they've got good size, but these Ben Davis defenders, their front 4 and their linebacking core, they're all big boys. You could tell that they've been in the weight room, and they've really imposed their will on the Crown Point offensive line tonight. Absolutely nothing doing with the running game.
Ehrlich on 2nd and 10, rolls to his left, looks for a receiver just over the head and incomplete. That was Jacob Jones, the intended receiver. So 3rd and 10 on that Crown Point 24-yard line. Trying to get a first down here, extend the drive, avoid giving Ben Davis the ball back. We've seen a lot of Jacob Jones today, whether that was on offense and defense.
Yeah, he's played a good game. I think they were trying to pick on him. Ben Davis was on defense. And other than the one big touchdown to Skabinski, that was a great catch by him. He's played really well.
Well, 3rd and 10. A little big screen play right there. That's Jacob Jones on a catch. Weaves his way through a couple of defenders, and that's a 4 Seasons mechanical first down for the Crown Point Bulldogs. Just what they needed. Some great blocks right there. You had Trevor Gibbs as one of them. Looked like Machete was another guy that went out there for a block. He was tackled at about the 37-yard line, so a fresh set of downs for the Bulldogs to extend this drive with under 10 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. A couple of personnel changes for Crown Point as they make some substitutions. 1st and 10, Ehrlich will keep it himself. He drops back, now goes to his right, now goes and tries to find some room, but he's going to be sacked and brought down, and the fumble, able to recover it himself. That was dangerous. You had number 44, Nehemiah Dow. He forced a fumble earlier in the game on Noah Ehrlich, able to bring him down for the sack.
Yeah, he's trying to extend the play, trying to find someone downfield. The problem was, everybody was blanketed by that Ben Davis coverage. He did fumble it. That was an actual fumble. He wasn't down. Unfortunately for the Bulldogs, the ball just popped right back into his hands.
2nd and 15 on their own 30-yard line. As Ehrlich will just keeping himself. A little quick pass. That's Trevor Gibbs, his first catch of the day. He'll be brought down quickly. A minimal gain for the Bulldogs, but able to make 3rd down a little bit more manageable. 3rd and 5 on the Crown Point 40-yard line. That goes down as a 10-yard pass. So now under 9 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter as the time keeps ticking. For Crown Point, I feel like anywhere you are on the field, it might be 4-down territory. As there's 3rd and 5, Ehrlich drops back, keeps himself another quick pass. That's Trevor Gibbs on the grab, just short of the first down marker. It's going to be about 4th and 1. A little hard tackle right there, but Gibbs seems to be all right. So back-to-back plays go to Trevor Gibbs, number 39, who had 2 touchdowns in that double overtime win against Westfield last week at the Dog Pound. That's going to be caught at the 44-yard line of Crown Point. We might have a flag here. It looks like we do. It looks like that's on Ben Davis.
It's going to be a personal foul.
Yeah, I think that tackle did look a little rough.
It looked like he might have gotten a little bit of face mask. I'm not sure. It's hard to see, but an extra 15 yards here for the Bulldogs.
That flag will move Crown Point all the way to the Ben Davis 40-yard line. It's their first time in the second half that they're on the Ben Davis side of the field. An opportunity for them to kind of, like you said, just play with pride and, kind of just create something. Don't go down without a fight. As it's on the 40-yard line, Ehrlich Drops back, looks towards his left, throws it, and that one's going to be caught. Nice back shoulder catch right there. That was Nick Soley on the grab. It's a Four Seasons Mechanical first down. Just what they needed. Noah Ehrlich really fit that ball in nicely, and a good job by Nick Soley to kind of turn around at the right time and make that grab.
Yeah, it was a great throw by Ehrlich. He understood that they were getting kind of that face coverage by the DB, understood he needed to put the ball back shoulder, and Soley was on the exact same page. Broke off his route, came back to the ball. Great pitch and catch.
Ball down now at the 21-yard line of Ben Davis. Ehrlich is going to hand it off to Ellison, and Ellison met right at the line of scrimmage. Possibly 1 yard on that carry. Couple of Giants right there to meet him. You had 92. Was one of the guys. That was Adonis Howard, kind of back before Isaiah White on that defensive line. You also looked like Chris Green was another guy who met Ellis in the backfield. It is a gain of 1, so 2nd and 9 on that 20-yard line. 7:24 to go and counting. Ehrlich's got 2 receivers on his left. He's going to keep it himself, has some time down the middle of the field, and that one's picked off. Alvin Contreras on the grab, and he's going to try to take this one back. He's tackled down at the 25-yard line. It's the 4th interception by Noah Ehrlich, and Alvin Contreras has his team-leading 6th interception of the season. And you mentioned it earlier, Rick, just trying to make some plays with your arm, trying to fill it in some holes that might be tough, maybe that you wouldn't if you had the lead. He was targeting Jacob Soley, but Alvin Contreras, like we said, he is the number 1 guy for Ben Davis when it comes to intercepting the quarterback, and that's what he does right there.
Yeah, it was a great job by him, really reading Ehrlich's eyes. Honestly, Ehrlich is thrown into double coverage, all 4 of his interceptions, and he's paid for it every single time. You just can't do that against a team like Ben Davis.
So first play from Ben Davis, a handoff to number 25, and able to drag a defender with him, but he's going to be tackled. About a 7-yard gain on that carry. So now we might see a couple of, the guys who have been fresh on the bench for this Giants team get some playing action. As that's number 25 was on the carry. That's Isaac White. So 7 yards on that carry with 6:37. Looks like we have a stoppage right now. Nope, never mind. They will continue the clock. And actually, I don't believe, if I'm correct, Thomas Gatkowski is not out there as well. So it looks like we have a couple new players in for this Giants team. There's a deep pass down the field and over the reaching hands of his intended receiver. That was Michael Searcy, the intended receiver. Isaiah Rogers now checks in at quarterback for the Giants, a 6'2 junior. He has played in a couple games this year, just, kind of in situations like this. He has 4 touchdowns and 1 interception. But it has to feel pretty good if you're Ben Davis, just because now you're allowing your starters to kind of enjoy this moment a little bit on sidelines, and you're allowing guys like this who don't really get much playing action to play in a game like this.
No, it's always good when you reward, the guys who've been grinding all season for you on the scout team, etc., with a chance to go play in a state championship game. I mean, that's exactly what you want to do as a coach.
Rogers hands it off to White, able to find a hole. Is going to be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's the Four Seasons Mechanical first down, and this just shows you how deep this team is. I mean, they have athletes. They have great football players everywhere. As that's a 14-yard gain at the 46-yard line. Now 6 and under left here in the fourth quarter as Ben Davis leads 38-3.
Yeah, I mean, it's a school of over 4,000 kids, I mean, the depth that they're going to have is hard to compete with.
Man in motion. That's Nate Williams on the handoff. Able to get about 5-6 yards on that carry, tackled out of bounds. So Nate Williams, he's made a couple of catches in tonight's game. Like we said, he was the hero last week, made the game-winning catch against Center Grove in overtime. So if you're a Ben Davis fan, first peek basically at Isaiah Rogers, although they probably got to see him a couple of times throughout the season, but it's kind of that offense might look next year just because Thomas Gatkowski, a senior, going to Miami, Ohio next year. It's going to be Isaiah Rogers, a junior quarterback, and Isaac White. He is a junior running back, but you also do have Price, who is a junior running back. There's a throw deep down the field, and that one is picked off at about the 1 yard line. It's number 29, Andy Parent, with the interception. So Rogers tried to go deep down the field, but good coverage right there by the 5'10 junior, and the Crown Point Bulldogs have the football back.
Yeah, continuing the fight. I think that's a great play. It was a great play by Parent there, tracking that ball. They're trying to go deep to number 10, Michael Sayers. The Ben Davis Giants are to Michael Sayers. They're trying to get one of their senior receivers a touchdown in the game, but Crown Point, they're still up to the task. They're still trying to, fight out there, and a great job.
And it's a cool moment for him as well.
Exactly.
He's not listed as a starter in the depth chart, so being able to make that play, and he's going to be back for another year for the Crown Point Bulldogs. But now you can say, hey, I picked off somebody at Lucas Oil Stadium. So definitely a cool moment for that kid. And here comes the Crown Point offense with 5:32 to go. Just trying to find, like you said, trying to build off something and trying to, trying to show fight. It looks like Larry Ellison will take the direct snap. They're at the 2-yard line, right in their own end zone. Larry Ellison keeps it himself off to the right side and able to get about 4 yards on that carry. Looks like number 24 for Ben Davis, Braylon Metcalf, was on the tackle. So 2nd and 6, 5:18 to go. Crown Point now on their own 6-yard line. For the Ben Davis Giants, it appears that they will be the Class 6A state champions. It's the first time in 3 years we have a new Class 6A state champion at Center Grove. They won it 3 years in a row until Ben Davis said, your time is up. Our time is now. So for these Ben Davis Giants, I'm sure the sidelines feel good for Russ Mann, his first year as the head coach for this Giant team. And it's going to be a lot of excitement down there at Ben Davis High School. 2nd and 6. Handoff. Actually, no, Ehrlich keeps it himself. That one thrown up the middle and incomplete. That was intended for number 11, Landon Delich. So quickly, it's going to be 3rd and 6 with 4:42 to go. And Ehrlich, this is a kid who's going to look at this performance and build upon it. Only a junior. He's going to be back next year. And, from my eyes this year, I've not seen a quarterback and a kid work as hard as he does. He's a kid that is not going to let this performance define the type of quarterback he is. He's always trying to improve every week. I interviewed him after that Lake Central win in the regular season at Lake Central, and the kid had so much poise and just a really good kid overall. So I know he's going to come back from this game and be even better for next year. So Ehrlich will hand that one off. That looks to be Ellison on the carry. No, that's actually Jacob Jones, and it's going to be enough for a 4-season mechanical first down. So a little bit of some trickery. You had Jones in motion, kind of a fake handoff to Ellison, and enough to move the chains.
Yeah, Crown Point continuing to fight. They're still battling. Jones, a nice run. Ben Davis had him, kind of wrapped up there before the first down. He just kept the feet moving, got the first down. A lot of fight in this Bulldog team, as you were saying. Ehrlich, it's a tough performance, and I'm sure he would have preferred to play a little bit better, but you're playing a very, very good opponent. Yeah. That's the one thing. You're playing a team that is ranked nationally. It's a different level of competition, to be quite honest, than what you're accustomed to playing.
Yeah.
And, this isn't a new thing. The 6A, since it's been, since its inception, has been dominated by 4 football teams from Central Indiana, from Indianapolis, and nobody has been able to even come close to beating them, from outside of that bubble of those 4 teams. So, in a way, it makes you excited that that potentially, down the road we could, break through.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think, Crown Point, it's the 3rd year in Coach Bazia's tenure, and they're already at Lucas Oil Stadium. Give this coaching staff a few more years together. The kids coming up through the pipeline. We're going to see Crown Point back here.
Absolutely.
And they're going to put a better showing up for sure. And, who knows, maybe in a few years we finally do see somebody finally break through the Indy kind of gridlock, and potentially maybe it'll be the Crown Point Bulldogs.
I think well said by you, and you're absolutely right. The Crown Point Bulldogs, in terms of Class 6A, they seem to be like 5 steps ahead of everyone else in the area. Just the way the programs ran, the type of football players they have, and, of course, the coach they have in Craig Bazia. As here's the snap, Ehrlich Has some time, drops back, throws it down the field. That's caught at the 40-yard line and still down the sideline. That's number 4, Nick Soley on the grab. It's a Four Seasons Mechanical first down, and a huge pass right there from Noah Ehrlich to his senior receiver. Had a lot of time in that pocket and was able to thread the needle with that pass. You can see tiptoeing down that sideline and finally pushed out of bounds. It's a 42-yard pass as he's now all the way at the Ben Davis 45-yard line with 4:22 to go here in that fourth quarter. So he'll quickly get set at the scrimmage. Ehrlich keeps himself once more, has some time, throws it down the field. That one's going to be not caught, incomplete. It was Nick Soley, the intended receiver, but Braylon Metcalf came from behind and knocked it out of the hands for Nick Soley to make it an incomplete pass.
Yeah, it was a great ball by Ehrlich. Dropped it right in there on the money for Soley, but just give a shout-out to Metcalf there on Ben Davis. He was beat, but he never gives up on the play, and at the very last second, he gets his hand in there to break up the ball and prevent a big gain for Crown Point.
So 2nd and 10, still on that Ben Davis 45-yard line. Crown Point trying to get a touchdown. End the night on a positive note. Ehrlich pressured, a little dump-off pass to his running back Ellison, breaks a tackle, but then is met and tackled out of bounds, kind of flipped his way out of bounds, actually. Had a couple of giant defenders right there. Looked like Samson Ajo was one of the guys there on the tackle. So 3rd and 6 now, with about 4:04 to go here in the fourth quarter. They're going to mark that down as a 4-yard pass by Larry Ellison. So 3rd and 6, Ehrlich keeps himself once again. Quick short pass to Trevor Gibbs. Trevor Gibbs tackled by the leg. That's number 11 on the play for the Ben Davis Giants. You had
Elijah Hackett.
5'6", 260. Able to grab the leg of Gibbs and tackle him. It's 4th and 1 now with 3:40 to go, and Crown Point will be going for this, obviously. So Ehrlich keeps it himself, now goes up the middle, breaks a couple of tackles, and makes a man miss, going down, tackled at about the 15-yard line, and he loses the ball. And I believe he might have recovered that back. He did. He lost the ball, but was able to recover it himself. It's a Four Seasons Mechanical first down for the quarterback. He kept it himself, was able to weave through a couple of Ben Davis defenders, and he made a man miss. That was Austin Hartwell who he made miss on that carry. And it looked like he was down as that ball was coming out. Nevertheless, it's a first down, and right away a handoff to Larry Ellison, 9 yards on the carry. Now Crown Point at the Ben Davis 9-yard line with 3 minutes and counting here in the fourth quarter. And quickly another step. Ehrlich keeps it himself, goes up the middle, tries to stay on his feet, but is brought down at the 2-yard line. So Crown Point knocking on the door of a touchdown. Noah Ehrlich's done a great job with his legs on this drive. So with under 3 minutes, Crown Point, Ehrlich keeps it himself up the middle and in for a touchdown. So Crown Point, they score their first touchdown of the night. The legs of Noah Ehrlich, a 2-yard run, and Crown Point is an extra point away from being in double digits.
Yeah, nice to get in the end zone there. Hard, tough drive. Ehrlich finishing it with his feet. He's been a gritty game.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he's been under pressure. He's taken a lot of hits, but he keeps coming. You know, that's the type of kid he is. And, you know, I think next year this is really just going to be motivation for him and this whole Crown Point team to get back here and to have a better showing.
Looks like we have stoppage here. There's about to be an extra point by Oliver Brewer. Looks like that might be on the Ben Davis team. Yep, it is going to be. They were offsides. That moves it up a yard, so we'll see if Crown Point maybe decides to go for 2. But nevertheless, that's an impressive drive. It's an 11-play, 98-yard drive. If you remember, they were pinned back all the way at their 2-yard line off that interception from Andy Parent. So able to drive the ball down the field 98 yards in 2 minutes and 47 seconds. They'll just kick this extra point. Snap looks good. Brewer's kick is up, and it's good. So Crown Point now with 10 points in the game. They trail by 28 with 2:45 to go. These Bulldogs, they continue to fight until this game is over. We're going to take a break here on our Game Night in the Region, built by Von Tobel. You're listening to the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Hi, this is Tim down at Tire Pros and Auto Superstore, 5200 Cleveland in Maryville. 219-887-3333 is our phone number. We've been serving the region and building relationships with our valued customers for the past 23 years. We have a wide variety of services, quality tires with the best warranty in the nation, and some of the most skilled mechanics I've ever worked with. Let us exceed your expectations. We're setting a new standard. Come on down, ask for Mike or Tim. We'll take excellent care of you. Thank you.
2:45 to go as we're nearing the conclusion of the Class 6A state championship game. Big thank you to everybody tuning in to this game night built by Von Tobel. Myself, Jack Thiel, Rick Novak besides me, and Justin Cole producing today's game. It's been a fun one, a lot of action. You know, although it's not the result Crown Point wants, it's still, like we were mentioning earlier, amazing to see this team in this game, in the Class 6A state championship game. You know, although they lost, they still can say they're the only team in Northwest Indiana to make the Class 6A state championship game. So, you know, all I can say is hold your, heads high, and, obviously this is going to be a lot of bulletin material and fuel for next year for all the kids returning. And I know Craig Bazia is going to have these guys ready for the season next year. I know Crown Point is going to be a team talked about going into the next football season, whether that's just in Northwest Indiana or the state of Indiana. Definitely have gotten people's attentions outside of Northwest Indiana, which is impressive to do, especially in the 6A class.
No, it really is. It really is. I mean, they're a program on the rise, and
Absolutely.
they're knocking on the door to be able to come down here and win. And I was saying a few minutes ago on the broadcast, they just need to stay the course with Coach Bazia and his staff, and eventually, they're going to have the players and everything to get down here and get that blue.
Yep, absolutely. So the backups come in for the Giants with 2:45 to go on their 35-yard line. Quick pass from Rogers. That one is caught and completed. That was number 18 on the grab, Anthony Stapleton. Just short of the first down marker as time continues to tick. 2nd and 4, they're going to give him a 6-yard gain now at the Ben Davis 41-yard line. We'll say for Isaiah Rogers, he's got an arm. A kid that can really throw the ball, and I know, head coach for these Ben Davis team, Russ Mann, is probably excited to see him, be able to start a full year next year. There's the handoff to White, and that one for minimal gain, about a yard or two on the carry, so 3rd down now for the Giants, and you can tell on that, that Ben Davis sideline, they're getting ready for that clock to hit 0 and run onto the field, grab their hardware, take their pictures, and, you got to feel, how happy they are just because all that hard work and success resulting in a state championship. As 3rd and 2, Rogers, quick pass completed and caught for a 4th-season mechanical first down. Michael Searcy on the grab. He's down at about the 46-yard line of Ben Davis, 140 and counting left. And this is a team that does have a lot of seniors, but they do have a lot of juniors. So for Ben Davis, although this is a senior-driven team, they're going to be back here next year. They have a lot of key juniors, especially Mark Zachary. He is someone everyone's going to be talking about next year. So Rogers drops back, has some time, throws it down the middle of the field, and it's picked off right there. And on the return and tackled down, that's number 9, Griffith Van Tischlet for the Crown Point Bulldogs. So Crown Point able to force an interception for the 2nd straight drive. This time it's from the sophomore outside linebacker, Griffin Van Tischlet, his 2nd interception of the year. A little bit of some miscommunication from Rogers to his receiver, but a good job by Van Tischlet to read that pass and force the turnover.
Yeah, Crown Point, 3-4 picks today. They've definitely, on defense, outside of a few big explosive plays, they were able to kind of contain the Ben Davis offense. Unfortunately, in a game like this, if you give up those 4 explosive plays, it's going to be really tough to win.
Yep, Crown Point on the Ben Davis 47-yard line. And actually, we have a quarterback change and running back change as well. First, that's number 20 on the handoff for Crown Point. So that's going to be his first carry of the game. Larry Ellison kind of getting that break now from Crown Point. That was Tommy Gadongono on the carry, and also Logan Hatt, the junior quarterback, is in for Noah Ehrlich. 2nd and 6 now with 40 seconds to go. Hand off once again. And brought down just short of the first down marker. It's going to be 3rd down for the Bulldogs. At about the Ben Davis 35-yard line. And I don't know if Crown Point will run one more play. They don't have to, I believe. I believe they can just run this down to 0. We'll see what they do here. But it is 3rd and 2 on that 34-yard line. And I think they are just going to let this clock ride out to 0. Players shaking hands on the field already with under 10 seconds to go. And, yeah, that's going to do it. Congratulations to the Ben Davis Giants. They were Class 6A state champions. Able to win another one, number 10 in the books for this football program. Their first since 2017. And how good does Russ Mann have to feel in his first year as a head coach, his first chance at being a head coach in high school football? Spent all those years being an assistant coach, able to win the state championship title and bring it back to Ben Davis in his first year as head coach.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said he's the 6th guy to ever do it in the state of Indiana. I mean, that's a pretty short list, so congratulations. Excuse me there. Sorry about that. And congratulations to the Ben. Sorry, guys. I couldn't hold that one in. Congratulations to the Ben Davis Giants. I mean, they dominated that game in the second half. I mean, they really put it on the Crown Point Bulldogs, and they left no doubt. I mean, in that first half, we thought, hey, maybe Crown Point has a shot here if they can keep this thing close to the end. But Ben Davis, they just came out in that third quarter, 21 points, and they just ran away with this.
We're going to take a timeout here, but the final score, Ben Davis 38, Crown Point 10. When we come back, we'll list our RSN Award winners. Once again, congratulations to the Ben Davis Giants. They are Class 6A state champions as they beat Crown Point 38-10. As you're listening to the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Von Tobel is your locally owned building material supplier and design center. We have a department for every room in your home. Visit one of our 3 Northwest Indiana showrooms to see your options for kitchen cabinets, countertops, vanities, showers, flooring, decking, and more. Visit vontobels.com for project inspiration and to request a free design consultation. Von Tobel, building better, together.
Quintel Incorporated is a family-owned and operated company located in Northwest Indiana that specializes in the reconditioning, repair, and remanufacturing of heat exchangers. Since 1994, Quintel has been handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country. Equipped with the most modern technology and advanced tools, Quintel provides top-notch service. When you trust Quintel for all your needs, you'll get peace of mind and a finished job that exceeds your expectations. For more info about Quintel and the services they provide, visit quintel-inc.com.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
From schools to stadiums, hospitals, and bridges, everywhere you look, union carpenters are building Indiana. With jobs and skilled trades in high demand, there's never been a better time to start building your future. As an apprentice, you'll earn a debt-free college degree, earn while you learn, and receive great benefits like healthcare and retirement. So what are you waiting for? Visit carpenters.com to learn more. Visit carpenters.com and start building your future today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Back here as the Ben Davis Giants, your Class 6A state champions. They defeat Crown Point 38-10. It's now time for our RSN Award winners. First, the Crowd Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. They have offices open from 9 to 7 Monday through Friday and Saturdays till 2 in Highland, Maryville, and Michigan City. They are the business professionals and proud to recognize superheroes on the football field. This is going to go to the running back for the Ben Davis Giants, Elijah Price. 2 touchdowns on the night, a 49-yard touchdown and a 2-yard touchdown on the day. He was as impressive as it gets. 13 carries, 141 yards, averaging 11 yards per carry. He just had an excellent night. And also we came into tonight's game talking about Mark Zachary, Thomas Gakowski in the passing attack. But it was really Elijah Price and that rushing attack that opened up things.
Yeah, in that third quarter, he was really the one that allowed Ben Davis to get that insurmountable lead, that big 40-yard run, some more big runs. They just started gashing that Crown Point defense. They couldn't keep up with them.
Yeah, and once again, a big thank you to Elijah Price. He is your Crowd Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game. Now time for your Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. Earn while you learn what Boilermakers Local 374. Learn about apprenticeship programs and more at local374.org. This is going to go to number 4 on the Crown Point Bulldogs, Nick Soley. 4 catches for 106 yards. He was targeted 8 times on the night, although it's a rough night for the Bulldogs. Nick Soley did a great job on offense and as well made a couple plays on defense when he was out there. Nevertheless, Nick Soley, 4 catches, 106 yards. When Crown Point, was in the game for the majority of the time, he made a couple nice plays out there with the receivers.
He was their biggest offensive weapon tonight for the Bulldogs. I mean, he was the only one who was really getting open down the field. On that scoring drive in the first half, he was the one up the seam that got the Crown Point Bulldogs close within striking range. Solely, against a very good Ben Davis secondary, was able to get over 100 yards receiving in the game.
So a big congratulations. Nick Soley is the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. Now time to announce the proud Union Home Play of the Game by IKORCC, the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters, where you can build your own future. Learn more at IKORCC.com, training, professionalism, and partnerships for economic development. And this is going to go all the way back to that third quarter, and Elijah Price, a 49-yard rushing touchdown, I should say, and that really started this Ben Davis offense. It was very slow in that first half, only 1 touchdown coming right out of the gate at halftime. You sense that the Giants needed a big play, a big drive, and that's where Elijah Price came. That 49-yard touchdown gave Ben Davis that 2-touchdown lead that they were hoping for, and since that touchdown occurred, it was all Ben Davis.
Yeah, they put the pedal to the metal there and ran away from the Bulldogs. I mean, it's a credit to them.
Yeah.
The Ben Davis Giants, they kept their composure. It was a close first half, but in that second half, whatever they were talking about in that locker room, it must have been taken to heart because they stepped up their play 2 levels, and they just completely overwhelmed Crown Point.
Once again, the 49-yard rushing touchdown by Elijah Price in that third quarter is your proud Union Home Play of the Game. Presented by IKORCC. Obviously, a bitter moment for these Crown Point Bulldogs not being able to win the state championship, but nevertheless, you have to be so proud of this team and all the kids that have worked their butts off to be in this position. I mean, it's not easy to make the state championship, especially in the Class 6A. And not only did Crown Point do that, they did it in a lot of their games in dominating fashion, and they beat really good teams to get to this point. You beat a really good Penn team, the team Penn that usually has region teams numbers. You beat a great Westfield team at home. Although they don't get that state title, this Crown Point team accomplished so many things. For the second time in school history, they went undefeated in back-to-back regular seasons. They have the best defensive performance the team has had in the regular season this year, only allowing 6.6 points per game. That's a school record. For the first time ever, the Crown Point was able to host a semi-state game. For the first time ever, Crown Point was able to play in the state championship game. And like I said, although it's hard to look past them not winning this game, nevertheless, this Bulldog team has so much to be proud of. The families and community and everybody within the Crown Point area has so much to be proud about with this team. All I would say is hold your head high and really just appreciate the journey that these kids went on throughout the year, because they all played really hard. I know Craig Bazia, he loved these kids, and they love playing for Coach Bazia. And it's a bittersweet moment just to see their season end and not the fashion they wanted to. But, when you're watching, when you've called games, when you've covered teams, sometimes you just got to take a step back and realize how amazing and special this was for those kids on the football field.
No, it was a really special season. I think, whatever this game, the results of this game were, for Crown Point even to get here was really special. I mean, we saw, a couple years ago, Maryville had some very, very good teams when they were in Class 6A. And they played Westfield twice in that semi-state, and they couldn't get over the hump. We saw Valparaiso not being able to beat Carmel, Maryville not being able to beat Carmel. We've seen the big school region teams not be able to break through, get over that semi-state hump, and get to Lucas Oil Stadium. But Crown Point, they finally did it this year. And like I said, now it's about taking that next step. We got here. Now we need to get there and win. And that's going to be the next focus for this staff at Crown Point, developing these players, developing that depth, this entire program to be able to get down to Lucas Oil Stadium and come away with not red medals but blue medals.
Yeah. Oh, well put, Rick. Stay tuned for the RSN wrap-up show, which you can view on Facebook and YouTube. The crew will go over this matchup between Crown Point and Ben Davis. I'll be starting in just a short bit, but a big thank you to our executive producer, Chris Ramirez, our operations manager, Rich Castillo, and our coordinating producer, Zach Miller. A big thank you to our producer, Justin Cole, and a special thanks to both head coaches, Craig Bazia for Crown Point, Russ Mann for Ben Davis. And also a big shout-out to the athletic directors for Crown Point, Bill Derula, for Ben Davis, Heather McGowan, and you, the viewers, Facebook.com, YouTube.com, Regionsports.com, and IHSATV.org. This just isn't a thank you for tonight. This is a thank you for all your support throughout this football season. Unfortunately, it is over. Now it's time to flip it to basketball and wrestling, but I just wanted to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for tuning into this football season. You guys are the true heroes, and you are the reason why we cover these games and do all the things we do. So a big thank you to everybody who has watched or listened any game, any show throughout the season. A big thank you. I've appreciated all the love and support, and the RSN crew is so thankful to have fans as involved and as engaged as you are in Northwest Indiana. But that's going to do it us for here. For Rick and Justin, myself, Jack Thiel, have a great and safe Saturday night as you're listening to the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
How far would you go to relive another Friday night under the lights? Well, lucky for you, you don't need to go that far at all. At Region Sports Network, we have a collection of over thousands of games, ranging from last week to the 1960s. Now, you can relive the thrilling victories, the heartbreaking defeats, and all the things that make Friday Night Lights so great. Talk to us here at RSN and help us remember the region. Please visit Remember the Region with the link on the screen or through our link tree found on our social media platforms. # Remember the Region.
When life keeps you busy and you can't get to the store, shop online with Strachan Van Til To Go. Our to-go service is easy to use. Register using your rewards account information, fill your virtual cart, and choose delivery or pickup. Once your order is in, our own Strachan Van Til team preps your order with care. With our to-go service, you can earn reward points and save time and money with our online coupons and weekly ad prices. Life made simple, shopping made easy. For more information or to sign up, visit shop.strachanvantil.com.
Growing up in Northwest Indiana, I am proud that my family's been doing business here for nearly 100 years, which started with my grandfather, John Gladish. Over my career, I've witnessed families being torn apart by the negligence of others, and everything from unguarded openings at construction sites to reckless driving on our roads. Our experienced attorneys, paralegals, and staff know that insurance companies and their lawyers will go to great lengths to avoid paying compensation. Do not waste your one and only opportunity to seek fair compensation for your loss. Give the Gladish Law Group a call and put our team to work for you.
Since 2000, Hose Connections in Hammond has been a premier leader in the hydraulics industry. Hose Connections is a one-stop shop offering quality hydraulic and pneumatic products and services. Hose Connections takes pride in not only meeting but exceeding customers' expectations. To learn all about the products and services that Hose Connections offers, visit hoseconnectionsinc.com or call 219-844-6570. Hose Connections in Hammond. Proven under pressure.
Have you checked out Centier Bank's student checking account? This no-fee checking account is perfect for students and teens ages 14 to 24 and comes with all the features you need to succeed, such as a debit card, digital banking, and automatic deposit. Centier Bank can help you start establishing good spending habits today for your better tomorrow. For more information, visit Centier.com/student-checking or visit your local branch. If you are under the age of 18, your parent or guardian must also sign on the Centier student checking account. At the age of 25, your account will automatically convert to the Centier checking account. You must deposit $25 to open this account. This account is not eligible for overdraft advantage. Member FDIC.
With electrical services from Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, you can radiate the perfect amount of light and energy into your home. From rewiring and code upgrades to ceiling fans, lighting, security, and more, Economy Electric Heating and Cooling's trained electricians will make sure you can enjoy your home on full power all the time. For a free estimate on electrical work, call Economy Electric Heating and Cooling at 219-923-4441, and you can visit them on the web at 4ajobdoneright.com. That's the number 4ajobdoneright.com.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I've received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
For over 100 years, Burns Funeral Home and Crematory has been assisting families in their time of need. Serving Northwest Indiana, the staff at Burns Funeral Home will help guide your family in creating a meaningful ceremony. From a simple to elaborate to traditional or unique, the caring family at Burns Funeral Home will tailor a ceremony to fit your needs. And for your other loved ones, Burns Funeral now has a pet cemetery and crematory. Visit burnsfuneral.com or give them a call at 219-942-1117.
This box is small, like Pet Supplies Plus. This one is large, like a big box store. In each, Stu, hi Stu, has carefully hidden a toy. Question is, which dog will find it first? Ta-da! Moose, no! You were so close.
Better Beef of Indiana. Hormone-free, locally raised, and locally processed beef. Better Beef of Indiana is located in Valpo at 2600 Beach Street, where you could buy individual cuts of beef completely raised in Hebron. From single pounds of ground beef to filet mignon, Better Beef of Indiana has it all. Visit their website at betterbeefindiana.com. Follow them on Facebook or call the owner, Kevin, directly at 219 508-5797. Better Beef of Indiana, where quality meets value.
Hi, this is Tim down at Tire Pros and Auto Superstore, 5200 Cleveland in Maryville. 219-887-3333 is our phone number. We've been serving the region and building relationships with our valued customers for the past 23 years. We have a wide variety of services, quality tires with the best warranty in the nation, and some of the most skilled mechanics I've ever worked with. Let us exceed your expectations. We're setting a new standard. Come on down, ask for Mike or Tim. We'll take excellent care of you. Thank you.
Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso is a leader in athletics apparel and equipment sales. With in-house production including screen printing, trophies, embroidery, and more, Blythe's can help you to create the perfect look. For more information, visit them online at teamblythes.com. Blythe's Team Sports in Valparaiso, where the athletes shop.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Centrally located in downtown Indianapolis, the Hampton Inn is just steps away from Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Situated at 105 South Meridian Street, shopping, restaurants, entertainment, and many Indianapolis attractions are in near proximity. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a gym fitness center. For reservations, the number is 317-261-1200. The website is hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.